We got a lot to ask her about coming up a little bit later on.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Plus, the Cody Gold Garage Sales now just 5 days away. Next Wednesday, June 10th. More items up on the website right now. Hoping to get some more experiences up on the website over the next few days as well, as we get closer and closer and closer to the garage sale. Hoping to have all that stuff up for you so that you can take a look at it. But we do need a favor to start the show.
Yes.
Which is we, over the previous 4 years of the Cody and Gold Garage Show, have offered golf with the producers. As you know, we are unfortunately having a difficult time getting in touch with a golf course that would like to do golf with the producers this year so that you can golf with Mac and Drew and have a chance, and Rob, and have a chance to go out on the course with them. So if you work at a golf course, are currently listening, and a superintendent of a golf course, we need your help. We need somebody willing to donate a foursome so that we can get the producers out there and raise some money for the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. So if you happen to run a golf course, help us out.
Yes, 913-586-7965. Text in. Drew will be keeping an eye on that. It's one of our more popular experiences. We just ran in a little bit of a hang-up, I should say, for the golf with the producers this year. So hopefully somebody out there, I know there's somebody, come on. I know there's somebody that either works at a course, maybe you run it yourself.
Help us out.
Maybe you're the superintendent there, whatever it might be. And you'll be able to hopefully support that, and we'll make sure you get some love as well. So 913-586-7965. We'll remind you a couple times throughout the show. Reminder also, as Cody was mentioning, the garage sale is on Wednesday. If you go to our station website, the Fan 965, right on the front page, Cody and Gold Garage Sale, you'll see the landing page. You click there. We added another, 10, 15 items today. We are still going to keep adding all the way up till Wednesday, so there's a few new things on there. We also have, if you're someone that likes neon signs, you got a man cave, maybe you own a bar, maybe whatever, right? You got a kid in college that wants it for their dorm room or whatever. We've got a couple more neon signs we just added, or we will be adding as well. So more and more experiences. Looking forward to Wednesday to raise a lot of money for the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. You guys can hit us up, as I mentioned the number already, 913-586-7965. And, of course, we are in 4K now, right? We're in 4K now on video, YouTube, Twitch, X, and Facebook.
Should I have warned Ms. Dugan that we're now much fancier cameras?
She's on camera on her social media all the time. I'm sure she'll be fine.
Yeah, probably true.
I'm sure she'll be fine.
I just didn't know if we needed to start warning guests,
I think it'll work out, man.
Of how much fancier the cameras are now in studio. I did, as I normally do with our fan club guests, send them a text and say, what would you like to drink? And essentially, even though it's brought to you by Jay Rieger and Company, she's like, can I get a not whiskey-based drink?
Okay.
So we'll go non-whiskey-based drink today, which is fine. Rieger also makes gin and vodka. So we don't have any trouble over there, and we'll certainly get ourselves
I will have
covered.
gin if you have gin. I don't know why. I'll have gin.
You like gin?
I'll have gin. I'll have
Interesting.
vodka.
This drink is a vodka Aperol drink. It's called an Aperol Sunset. I batched it last night. That's why I already know what we're making.
It sounds good.
I made it last night because I don't want to go through the trouble of, I'll shake it so it can be, poured over some ice. But
All right.
there you go. It's kind of a fruity drink. It's got a sugar rim.
That works.
Oh, that's right in my wheelhouse. Let's go.
It's going to be sick.
You like a sugar rim?
Yeah.
No, if you can make mine without the sugar rim is not good. It's the most overrated thing about alcoholic beverages is the sugar is the rims. Just give me the drink.
Okay. Well, now we got that figured out. By the way, more people have texted in trying to get KU baseball tickets. People have texted in. Yeah, it's already unavailable.
Yeah, it didn't take long.
As you expected, because the site opened up at 10. You go in there. They got the 3 dates, right? Saturday, Sunday, and potentially Monday if they need a game 3. And it's like last time, right? You'll go and it'll show that there's backyard tickets available. Remember, they expanded the backyard, and you click best available, and it says no seats found. As we expected. They were going to go immediately. It's the same thing that happened last week.
Little Birdie told me you already got a secure ticket, so you'll be there anyway.
I do have a
ticket. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm
Alex
excited.
will be there.
I'm going to be there all weekend.
You're going to be
there all
with the
weekend.
students in the outfield?
He's got a seat.
No, I don't know. I do not know if it's a seat
okay.
yet. That's to be determined.
You have a ticket.
I have a confirmed ticket. I do not know where it's at yet.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That's good enough. You can take
that.
that.
I'm not going to
Gold's
complain
going
at
to
all.
do the blue face paint and everything
I
like
am
that.
not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. But I will be rocking my Kansas gear, cheering on the The Jayhawks against the Oklahoma Sooners. And thinking of that, coming up around 11:10, 1 hour from now, we will talk a little college baseball. Andrew Riedel going to join us from College Baseball Central, and we'll get his perspective on the Jayhawks' chances against Oklahoma, bigger picture, the super regional, I should say, being in Lawrence for the first time. We'll talk a little college baseball. We've got Jake Eisenberg also about 25 minutes from now. Talk some Royals baseball. They've suddenly won a couple in a row here, and maybe have a little bit of momentum for the rest of the weekend in Minnesota. And we'll start something we'll ask him about, but we'll start the show today. The fact that Bobby Wood Jr. now officially is your MVP favorite in all of baseball. And I understand that's because Aaron Judge got hurt. The odds shifted drastically. You may have seen Aaron Judge out 4 to 6 weeks, a massive blow to the New York Yankees and for his MVP case. Although I was surprised to see Cody Judge fell all the way down to 125 to 1 to win the award. And I know he's going to miss a month at least, but I'm a little surprised it fell that far down. But anyway, good news for Bobby Wood Jr. Now, the Royals playing better would bode well for his case to win it as well. There will be some voters and people that will knock him because the team is not playing well and not good this year. So if the team could play well, that would help. But he's your favorite now, plus 135. We've talked for years. At some point in his career, Bobby Wood Jr. is going to win an MVP. Is this the year that it happens, a year in which the team is shaping up to have one of its most disappointing years in a very long time?
Look, it doesn't feel like the year because they're 13 games under 500. But at the same time, the leader in the clubhouse just got hurt. The second favorite's not exactly on a good team either. And then Bobby Wood Jr., who's on currently a bad baseball team based on their record. I understand they've won 3 of 4, and it could have been 4 of 4, but they've won 3 of 4, and they're playing a little bit better baseball. They are going to have to, in my opinion, be at least relatively close to 500 for him.
I think so. I just think that's the reality of how this award works.
If they were 500 or in first place of the division, after that news from Aaron Judge, he'd be the heavy favorite. He leads all of baseball in WAR again. He leads in defensive run save. He at multiple times has led in hits, so he probably will again at some point. He's on pace for 40 doubles and 25 home runs and a bunch of stolen bases, and all of the numbers are good. All of them are good. He finished second in MVP 2 years ago, fourth in MVP last year. So do I think Bobby Wood Jr. is eventually getting an MVP? Yes. But you and I both know it's like the old stat of who's the last MVP to be on a losing team? It's like Andre Dawson in the 80s or whatever. It's just not something that happens. Maybe Shohei since then. I think Shohei might have done it on a losing team. Shohei was also pitching and hitting for a team. It's tough because in a weird way, MVP probably shouldn't be based on total team record in a sport in which one player cannot save you. But I think there'll have to be at least 3, 4, 5 games within 500 gold, on the season, for him to even have a chance to win it. So would I tell you to bet it? No. Not unless you think the Royals are getting ready to go on a run and Massey hitting well and Rojas catching a flight
it's
and
amazing
getting the game-winning hit essentially last night. Unless you think this is going to be the thing that ferries them into the next run, then it's not a safe bet right now, even though he has been, again, one of the best players in the American League.
And he should have won MVP a couple years ago. I think we know that. I think there's two different conversations here, right? There's as a betting angle and just as a Royals fan / supporter of Bobby Witt Jr., right? From a betting angle, I would not bet it at plus 135. The value's gone, number one. And two, as you said, tying up for only plus 135 value for 4 or 5 months, tying up money doesn't make any sense. You could bet on somebody to get 2 hits tonight and find value at plus 135. I just wouldn't bet it at that. If you got it preseason when he was 8 to 1 or something, that's different. At plus 135, it's not bettable for me, and I'm not tying up the money. I also think there is still the worry that the team's performance will hurt his cause, even if you think it should be an individual award, because that's what it is.
It just does. It
that
always
most
works
valuable
that way.
player, right, for your team. And people say, well, where would the Royals be without him? People would say, well, they're already still a last place team, so what's the difference? That'll hurt him. I'm not saying it's fair, but that will hurt him. And then Yordan Alvarez. Can he stay healthy? If Yordan Alvarez for the Astros stays healthy, I think he's got a great chance to win it. People get obsessed with the power. People get obsessed with home runs. And we've seen this hurt Bobby in the past.
And if he's going to be 27 home run hitter, that's why he went from second to fourth. The year before, he was in the 30s. Last year, he's in the mid-20s. You can't be in the mid-20s. He's going to have to go on a run. I think that's the other part. You're right. That it's going to need to have a 3 in front of it. Now, I will say, this is not small news for baseball. Aaron Judge in the time, and he's missed plenty of time in his MLB career, weirdly enough, because Maybe his size, maybe just some players get hurt a little bit. I'm not saying he misses games every year, but he's had more than one of these injuries come up over the course of it. Matter of fact, he's played 152 and 158 the last 2 years, impressive. But 106 the year before that, he played 28 in just 2020, which was an injury shortened. That was a COVID shortened year, but 102 the year before that. So like he's had season in his career where he's missed time. But Bobby Witt Jr. has 1.5 more WAR than him. And while Aaron Judge is having a good year, he has 17 home runs and 38 RBI. He's not having an Aaron Judge year. That's why he cratered so low. He sunk so low because he wasn't having an all-time year and then got hurt. He was having a slightly below average year for Aaron Judge and then got hurt. He wasn't leading the league in batting average like last year or on base percentage like 3 of the last 4 years or OPS like 3 of the last 4 years. He had an OPS and slug and all those things much lower than normal. 907 was his OPS this year. And while that's a very good one and higher than Bobby Witt Jr.'s, it's low by his standards. So it's a weak year in the American League to win it. So do I think Bobby has a chance? Yes. But I think it is all tied to the fact that Bobby Witt Jr. is going to have to be on a team at least competitive. And at this point, the fact that he's the favorite, this speaks to how good a baseball player is. The fact that he is the active betting favorite and the team is 13 games below 500 at last check.
Well, it's because Aaron Judge got hurt. I mean, that cleared the deck for everybody.
But he was second. He was the second favorite before that.
He did have the second best odds. And now that Judge seemingly is out of the picture, he's got a great chance to win it this year. Bobby Witt Jr. does. And this could be, it's weird. You know, this has been an extremely frustrating season. And in a year in which the Royals might have their most disappointing year in a long time, might be the year where they get their first MVP. You know what I mean? Since what? Since George Brett?
Yeah, imagine the year he had 390, he won it.
Yeah.
I don't want to say for sure, but
I have to double check. I think so.
Pretty sure he did.
I was a little hesitant, but it's got to be, right? Like, I'd have to double check. George Brett won MVP in 1980 when he hit 390. Yeah. So
makes sense.
The last time the Royals had someone finish second other than Bobby was George Brett as well. That was in 1985, the year they won the World Series.
Again, not surprising because he was one of the best players in the sport. I will say, the Rojas story last night
is awesome.
It doesn't change their fate this season, but the idea that he was playing in AAA, played in a game, missed a flight, caught a flight, rain delay helps him. He eventually gets to the stadium at like 9 o'clock and then gets the game-winning hit in a weirdo game back and forth where like the Royals had the lead, the Twins had the lead, the Royals had the lead. You know, like it was very much duck season, rabbit season for most of the game. The idea that he was the person who got the hit.
Only in baseball, man.
To push him over the top. I love it. That doesn't happen in football. You're right.
No, can't happen. It's only in baseball can you have a scenario where someone plays a game, the same sport, at a different level early in the day, has to travel, deals with flight issues, and somehow still made it on time for a game because there was a rain delay. And then he pinch hits late in the game too. There's a chance they could have just been like, hey, we're not going to pinch hit you. You just showed up. No, they do, and then he comes up big. So that's an all-time moment for him. I'm sure it's a moment he'll never forget. It was pretty darn cool. And the Royals won. And you know, Dusty was joking with me before the show, and he's like, "Hey, man, what if they sweep the Twins? Are you back in?" And I said, "No, we can't keep doing this. They win 10 in a row. They get to 3 under 500. You'll get me back. But come on, they're still 13 under 500, guys, and this team could easily still lose 2 in a row." Just like that. That's not me being Debbie Downer. That's just reality. They're 13,
the right guy in the mound
13 games under 500. So forgive me for not, throwing a parade because they've won a couple games in a row. They are the point where it's more than fair for me, for other Royals fans to say, hey, you've got to win 10 games in a row, as crazy as that sounds. But that's the hole they dug themselves into. Do that, either 10 games in a row or check back in a month if they're 3 under 500. How about that? Either one works. You get close to 500 again, we can have a conversation. But I don't think they're capable of doing that. Sorry. I don't. Not with the injuries that they have. Not with the bullpen still being a disaster. Let's not forget, that didn't just suddenly get fixed because they won a couple games in a row. So, yeah, I would rather than win games. It's way more enjoyable. I love seeing Michael Massey, friend of the show, playing at the level that he's playing. He's been one of their best hitters. Love all that. But we got to still be realistic about the reality of where they're at as a season, which is a 13 game under 500 baseball team. And so if they work their way back to 2 or 3 under 500, whether it's 3 weeks from now or a month and a half from now, then you'll get me back.
I will say kudos to the bullpen last night. They were a big reason why they won. Rain delay knocks Lugo out after just 5 innings. He had given up 5 runs too, but Schreiber gave up 1 run, none from Lynch, none from Strahm, and Lang closed again. So, like, all of a sudden, it appears He's their closer. He's pitched in back-to-back save situations. He's let runners on both times, but he's closed both games. So I don't know if Alex Lang is going to be the closer all season, but they've at least handed him the role in the interim, still using Daniel Lynch and Matt Strahm in similar spots. And up to this point, it has paid off, which is what we've talked about anyway. This is why you had to move off of Verseg anyway.
Yeah, someone says, not all of us are fair weather fans. Win or lose, their team. That's not the same conversation, though, what we're having.
I watched the game last night. So fair weather fan would not watch the baseball game.
Saying that you're not back in, as in meaning that they are back to contending, is not the same thing as saying you're not a fan. I don't know why that text doesn't make any sense. Thank you, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Like somebody also just said, how's he leading in MVPs, hitting 283?
Nobody should be critical of any Royals fan if they said, "Hey, I'm out until they're." That's not being a fair weather fan. That's being realistic.
The fair weather fan is the one that only shows up when they win. Is what the fair weather fan is.
Yeah.
But saying I'm not to Dusty's question that he posed to me.
I'm not buying in.
Are you buying back in? That's not someone being a fair weather fan or not. It's the reality that they're 13 games under 500. I don't blame anybody. Heck, I'm saying 3 under 500. There might be some Royals fans out there that are saying they got to be above 500 before they're back in. So, no, I don't fault a single Royals fan that says, no, you got to prove to me more than just winning 2 games in a row. Thank you very much.
Is it a little weird sometimes that the only thing we associate that with is sports? Like, do I owe them more loyalty than anything else? Let's just say, I don't like the Fast and the Furious 9th movie. Nobody calls me a fair weather fan of the franchise. No, you will watch that movie. I don't care if it stinks. You have to watch all. We quit TV shows all the time.
Yeah.
You know how many people just stopped watching The Walking Dead when it got awful? Everybody. They all stopped watching it. I'm not a fair weather Walking Dead fan. Yeah. I don't have to consume a bad product.
Dang, so does that make
Nothing forces me.
Hang on, does that make me like, if I don't like the Toy Story 4 or 5 or if I haven't seen those,
that makes you a fair weather Toy Story fan.
Then I'm a fair weather, even though the ending...
Only like it when it's making your heart hurt in Toy Story 3, Drew.
The ending of 3 is when it should have ended. We know it. Same thing with Shrek. They made too many of those movies.
They did. They should have stopped at the first one. Let's be real.
Fair weather Shrek fans, the both of you. It's the only sports we tie it to. I think it's very funny.
It is definitely a sports thing.
Yeah, it is.
I'm glad they're playing better, but yeah, we it is more than fair to pump the brakes before we actually think they've got a real chance to compete again. Sorry, that's the hole they dug themselves in. That's just the reality of how sports works.
Being a real fan works as well.
Yeah, either way. And if you're someone that, look, I hope you can text into this show in August when this team is competing for the division somehow in a miracle world, and you can say you never gave up hope. Props to you, right? That we can print out a certificate for you if that makes you feel better, you know?
Meanwhile, Cody wants to get rid of his diploma.
That's right. Yeah.
I think you can be proud of things you accomplish without needing a piece of paper in order to prove it. No one's going to ever make me actually produce that thing, I don't assume.
That's sad behavior if you need a certificate saying, I stuck through all the hard times.
I mean, I've been a Royals fan a very long time.
Even when the Chiefs were bad, you guys were Chiefs fans.
I guess what Alex is saying is we haven't stopped watching the Royals. We're just not convinced they're back in the playoff hunt.
Yeah,
exactly. I think they have to re-earn the right to prove they are in the playoff hunt. I think there's a big difference.
Yeah, and they got 100 games left to do that. We'll see what happens. Whatever they're at now, 90 something. I don't know what they're 25 and 38. Anyway, all right. 913-586-7965. We'll continue to look at your text. Also, don't forget, in about 10 minutes, Jake Eisenberg, who is in Minneapolis, will join us. We'll talk some more Royals baseball. And don't forget, really important, this year we have partnered with KCUC, who is donating $50 to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for every home run the boys in blue hit this season. In fact, 1 in 8 men will face prostate cancer. Early detection saves lives, and at KCUC, Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team, you see the best in KC. Schedule today at kcuc.com. Let's pivot to something Drew was very, very excited about yesterday, and I said, hey, all right, report back because I'm probably not going to be locked in. Cody's probably not going to be locked into this. That was the reveal for, you said, NCAA football 28?
College football 27.
27.
Madden 27.
Okay, all right. The 2 new video games.
Correct.
I'm not up to date on any of this stuff the way I used to be. So tell me, why should we be excited? And also, is this enough, you can tell me, to get people to buy the game again, do you think?
So I'm more excited about the college football one, of course. But it sounds like they revealed both games at the exact same time. Like they're trying to interweave them together, I think, which apparently a lot of people have been asking for. There's more, you can still, if you do a Road to Glory in college football, you can still take them to Madden. You can do that with coaches now as well, it sounds like, where you can coach in college for a little while and then bring them into with all the archetypes and all the other stuff that you do in college to Madden, which I think is fun. One thing for Madden real quick before I get to the college football game, they added the tush push. So I don't know if there's a reason you don't want to buy Madden Gold, but I can only imagine you're playing online, and if it's glitchy where the play is a cheat code, somebody just runs a tush push 98 yards down the field and scores, it can be very frustrating. But they're adding it, so there's some realism aspect in there. There's also some more changes there. But college football, Dynasty Mode is adding NIL for recruits and on your current roster. So you can spend to keep players who could enter the portal. You can up NIL for recruits. Also, one of the things that people, I think, like, at least according to what it sounded like last night, is there's athletic director expectations for every program, and they're different, and they change year to year. You can upgrade facilities, or you got to keep your facilities updated to help recruits. Like, there's a lot in that interweaves with the recruiting aspect of things.
There is a part. Do you guys like doing that much?
I do, but
maybe since I'm older, I think
you have to know that it's gonna take more time, Cody. Like, you're not gonna be able to get through a season. I mean, you could get through a season quickly. You just sim everything or let the computer do it. I suppose.
I'll say this as somebody who once purchased and owned and played the EA Sports head coach game. Okay, so like I'm not even trying to pretend
it falls in line with that
this
more
was
now.
Outside of it. But man, I got like a month into that game and I'm like, what am I doing here?
It feels like that a little.
I don't want to do that much or think that much or have hotkeys for my plays. I'm just assuming at that point then it's for the pros. I'm looking for the things that are like for the everyday. Like, is the gameplay a little bit better, or does it stop some of the ones like the undefeated, like the undefensible plays, or like the tush push? It's like, I understand it's a part of the game, but also like I just don't need it. I guess.
One thing that you guys might not...
13-year-old me playing video games would have loved it. Now it's just like, I just want to casually be able to play. Now it feels like you got to play long enough to get good at the game because it's so complicated.
There's one thing that I like in particular. I don't think you guys will like it. I don't know. I think the text line will make fun of me for this. You can do theme nights now with your jerseys.
Oh, wow.
So if you're
Drew's
going to whiteout?
Drew's going to do whiteout every night.
Yeah, so if you're Oregon, you can do a blackout. You can do a whiteout. You can stripe the stadium.
Now, is there an actual benefit to doing that other than the aesthetic? Or, like, is there some true, like, hey, if you win while you're doing a whiteout, your quarterback gets 3 extra throwing power or some crap?
For all I know, that might be a thing. I don't know. But I know that you can do it for every game. So you can pick, like if you're in the schedule, Penn State might have their whiteout game already selected on what it's going to be at Beaver Stadium. Okay. You can make it realistic, if you will, along those lines, which I think is
Drew's going to do koozie night and all these other things.
I mean, I thought it looked cool. The Spurs.
We love ourselves a giveaway.
I do like
the
that.
colors.
We love ourselves a game theme.
Drew desperately wants a whiteout.
I'm very excited for it. I know that I play with my friends as well, and I've got like 5 to 6 or 7 people that play together. One other thing, too, I forgot about this. You can flip commits now in Dynasty. So you
I like that. That's
could you not already do that?
No. So when they commit, they commit. Now there's verbal commits, and you can go and offer more NIL for a player, essentially, spend more points, and you can flip a recruit.
You know what? They want to make it realistic. They should allow you to push the limit of like cheating, and then if you get caught, you lose your job and your program's banned for the bowl games and stuff like that. Let me try like for 1 year, like you're going to go to a school and let you cheat for 1 year.
And let my donor get $500 handshakes.
They used to have NCAA infractions in the old games, like the 2005 and 2006.
And let me break off from the SEC and form a super league. Just let me do all of it. Let me take it as far down the road as I could possibly think.
Somebody mentioned something I mentioned to you guys and got off air. Kirk Herbstreit is not doing the color commentary. Joe Klatt is doing color commentary, which is interesting because Chris Fowler's still doing play-by-play. So it's ESPN and Fox together. Also 2 Colorado grads. Holly Rowe, I believe, is on the sidelines too.
Right.
And they intricate more of a presentation deal. Like, I think one of their big pitches is it feels like Saturdays for college football, and in the Madden game, it feels like Sundays. Like, I think they have in Chiefs games, they'll have somebody banging the drum pregame at Arrowhead. I think they showed that in one of the
they just make people up, or
just like I think what they've done. Pat McAfee's actually going to do whatever the school celebrate. He'll do the one for every school, so he's everywhere. So Pat McAfee will bang the drum. He'll do whatever.
If they had game
it'll be
day,
very fitting. They'll have Pat McAfee do every possible tradition in the game. He's the only one.
I do like Joe Klatt a lot, so I think that'll be interesting. But yeah, I already pre-ordered it. Game comes out in a month.
There you go. Let us know, man.
I'm
we'll
excited.
See if, I don't know if I'm going to buy it or not. I don't think so.
I have to buy a new system if I'm ever going to get these games.
I have the right system because I got it when the college football game came back.
In the trailer,
waiting Go ahead.
I was going to say in the Trailer Gold, unfortunately for you, they have Missouri winning the border war. They have them lifting up the
That's
trophy.
fun. They won last year, so I mean,
I've decided to wait until my kids are old enough to request whatever the newest system at that time is. It's like a
PS6, I think we're
Christmas or
getting
something. So, like, I'm just holding out.
We're getting there, Cody.
I'm just holding out until then. Problem is, the new consoles are like a G.
Yeah.
It's like they're starting to ask, like,
That's the rumor.
used car prices. I mean, it's
you
getting like...
you gotta wait a year after it comes out.
Apparently last year in Madden, I haven't bought Madden in years now, but somebody said it was Jamal Charles beating the drum.
There you go.
In the game.
Okay.
All right, up next, let's get back to the Royals. We'll talk to Jake Eisenberg, who is in Twin Cities, broadcasting, of course, the Royals throughout the weekend. We'll ask him about Bobby Wood Jr. being the MVP favorite and what he is seeing from Michael Massey as well. That's coming up right here on Cody and Gold.
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Ever wonder why Fanatics Sportsbook is America's fastest growing sportsbook? Other sportsbooks? Well, their rewards are just the same old, same old. But Fan Cash is the ultimate sports currency, and betting with Fanatics lets you stack Fan Cash. With Fanatics Sportsbook, you can get up to 10% Fan Cash back on your wagers, win or lose. Use your Fan Cash to unlock the world of Fanatics with unlimited profit boosts, exclusive merch, collectibles, game tickets, and so much more. If you want value for bets, Fanatics will always have your back. Did I also mention they're giving away millions in Fan Cash this year with games like Fan Cash Drop? Tap in every Friday and see what the fuss is all about. So switch to a sportsbook that will always give you more to play with. Go check it out for yourself and download the Fanatics Sportsbook app today. Winning hits different here. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. CT call 888-789-7777. MA call 800-327-5050. NY call 877-8-HOPE-NY. MD visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Offer not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatics Sportsbook app.
It is out of here.
Man, if your stream isn't as strong as it used to be, or you're taking more breaks to the bathroom than the seventh inning stretch of a televised baseball game,
We'll be back after this.
it's time to get checked. An enlarged prostate or BPH could be the cause, and Kansas City Urology Care is here to help. Fast answers, trusted care. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
Hey, it's Rob Britton from The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, and we're excited to announce the launch of Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series documenting the run-up to the World Cup with our friends over at 98.1 KMBZ.
And Rob, I'm Scott Parks from Dana and Parks on KMBZ. Beyond the Pitch KC will feature the biggest names who made the World Cup in Kansas City possible. Plus, the biggest storylines heading into this summer's tournament. This is not a podcast about soccer. Don't get us wrong. This is a podcast about Kansas City. This is a podcast for Kansas City. And this is a podcast that'll tell the story of how our town is hosting the world's biggest sporting event.
New episodes will be released every Wednesday starting on March 4th, as well as video clips that can be seen on 96.5 The Fan and KMBZ's social channels.
Subscribe and download to Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series with myself and Rob Bretton on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code MONEY to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code MONEY to borrow up to $10,000. Use code MONEY to borrow up to $10,000.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
Get everything you need for the entire job delivered. From lumber to drywall, flooring, and fixtures, get it all delivered from the Home Depot. With same day, next day, or any day delivery, staying on track and on time is crucial to your job. That's why it's our job to get you what you need when you need it. We deliver the supplies. You deliver the results. Brought to you by the Home Depot.
This report is brought to you by Bet365. Winning is everything.
With Bet365 early payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Missouri.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road.
All right, we're just getting started on a Friday. A reminder, coming up in about 40 minutes or so, we'll talk KU baseball as well. They got a super regional hosting Oklahoma this weekend in Lawrence. First ever super regional for the Jayhawks. Andrew Riddle going to join us, Rydell, I'm sorry, going to join us from College Baseball Central around 11:10 or so. But let's get back into the Royals, head up to the Twin Cities, welcome in our guy Jake Eisenberg. Don't forget, there's the Jake Eisenberg broadcast experience at our Cody Gold garage sale, one of the items next Wednesday up for grabs. Really cool opportunity to sit in the booth there, watch them broadcast for an inning, plus some tickets to the game. You can find all the details on that on our website where the Cody Gold garage sale landing page is. Plus, we've got the Jake Eisenberg collection, as we're calling it, with broadcast-worn polos.
That's right.
I do like the powder blue Old Bally one. I kind of like that one, Jake. That's a nice-looking polo.
I mean, look, it's all yours. You know, game worn and washed.
Was there
thoroughly.
ever ice cream spilled on any of those?
You know, I was pretty careful. There was ice cream consumed
okay.
while wearing those, but I don't think ice cream spilled, thankfully.
Yeah, I know you always post the little ice cream in a cup or a batter's helmet photo sometimes from the kids.
It tastes better in a helmet.
Yeah,
it tastes better in a helmet. Just saying.
How's the you've been to Minneapolis multiple times now calling games, obviously a divisional opponent. How's the look? Target Field looks great. How's the ballpark fare there at Target Field?
You know, they actually do a really good job here at Target Field. This is one of my favorite ballparks to come to. They've got a new gluten-free stand this year, so going to check that out. They've got some pretty good ice cream here, too. It's just a really good ballpark all around.
Let's talk about the Royals, who are winners of 3 of 4. Before the individual team stuff, what about Bobby Wood Jr., who is now sitting at an odds maker that looks like he's the betting favorite to win the MVP after the injury got announced yesterday from Aaron Judge? I guess, what are you seeing out of Bobby Jr. this year? We talked about it maybe a month ago and how well he was playing, but it feels like it's hard to win MVP, Jake, if the team is still 13 games below 500.
Yeah, I'm gonna push back on a couple things. You know, you keep saying he's the new betting favorite. I understand there's betting lines and odds makers and things like that. It's not something that I really pay attention to at all whatsoever. In my opinion, Bobby Wood Jr. has been the front runner for MVP. I don't know, most of the season, considering he leads all of baseball and wins above replacement, and that's just scratching the surface. Yes, Aaron Judge has won back-to-back MVPs, but if you look at the way that those two have produced this season, Bobby Wood Jr. is leaps and bounds the all-around better player so far this season. And I think you can make an argument, and I've made this argument in the past, that he's the best all-around player in the entire sport. So if you ask me, he's been maybe not the betting line or odds makers favorite, but he's certainly been the front runner in my opinion, at least for this season.
Is what's hurting him the power numbers? Look, I don't care, Jake. I agree with you. I would have made the argument 2 years ago for him to win it, and I thought was being hurt by the fact that some of his things can't be seen by fans if they're watching a SportsCenter highlight. So all the defense you see, or the stolen bases, or the stuff that he does that doesn't show up on a highlight, right? Putting the ball over the wall.
Well, I think that part of it is, and this gets into somewhat of a conversation about all-star battling too. when you look at the MLB All-Star ballot that's online and you look at the statistical categories that are listed there, you see, if I'm not mistaken, you see average, homers, RBIs, and OPS. That's what's listed for every player. That isn't necessarily the best way to capture every single player's impact. There might be a guy hitting 200 but has an OPS of 900 or has 12 home runs or has 22 RBIs, but that doesn't take into account defense or speed and literally everything that Bobby Witt Jr. does. And those numbers, those counting stats are there for him too. I'm just saying that when we think about that entire conversation, so often we look just at those kind of basic offensive numbers, and that doesn't do the best job in capturing the totality of what makes him so good, which is, oh, by the way, literally everything.
We're talking to Jake Eisenberg here on 96.5 The Fan. You, I'm sure, have heard some awesome call-up stories and minor league stories and guys traveling, trying to get to the big league park on time. But where does the Josh Rojas story from yesterday stack up? That's awesome. I mean, that's an all-timer for him.
Man, I don't know. It's something that I had never heard before, and in trying to do some digging and thinking about it last night, maybe it's happened a couple of times before, document it where a guy's played in a minor league game and then played in a big league game the same day. But, sometimes that happens, and I'm sure it's happened in Storm Chasers and Royals history, given that those teams are close. I'm guessing maybe it's happened in the last couple of years with the St. Paul Saints and the Twins. When the AAA team is close to the major league team, that's more logical, right? But this is a completely different situation. We're talking about a noon game in Ohio and a night game in Minnesota. And to have hits in both games is really cool, let alone the game-winning hit in one of them. And, reading Annie Rogers' story after the game last night, the fact that he didn't get to the ballpark until he thinks around 9:45 after the rain delay. If the rain delay doesn't happen, he probably maybe doesn't make it to the game in time. Certainly not to have the impact that he did, the way it unfolded. That's an all-timer. That's one of the coolest, I think, single days that you can have, certainly in terms of a story that you can tell for the rest of your life. That's awesome.
Make the argument, Jake, I guess, for this team right now in the sense that they've won 3 of 4. You watch this team more than just about anybody else could possibly watch a baseball team. So what's the argument for this is the beginning of a run? Like, what are the things right now you think are sustainable in playing better baseball, at least over the last week or so?
Wow, what a question.
I know. I'm not trying to make it loaded, but it's just like, sometimes people are looking for a reason to buy back into it, right? And so
Sure. But let's not pretend that I have the magic answer or the magic pixie dust. I will say, the two things that this team has lacked, or at least not done consistently over the course of the beginning of this season, is get the clutch hits, right, in those big spots, whether it's in the middle of the game or at the end of the game, and also have a lockdown bullpen performance. And what we've seen now 3 of the last 4 games, we've seen this team score crucial runs in the 9th inning, especially the last couple of days. So those clutch hits have been there. And we've seen the bullpen lock down the later innings and keep the other team off the board. And when you play as many close games as the Royals do and as the Royals have, those are the 2 biggest, I think, areas where you can swing a game where you either get that clutch hit or you don't. You either hold the other team scoreless in the big spot or you don't. And obviously those 2 specific things are magnified in those close games, but that's what we've seen the last couple of days. And you know that the guys are capable of doing that in these spots because they've done it before. They've done it the last couple of days. They can certainly still continue to do that. So that would be the argument, is that the Royals, in losing all of these close games, have also proven that they are not so far away in all these close games. It's been a couple of hits here. It's been a couple of pitches there. And we've seen those pitches and those hits go the Royals' way the last couple of days. And hopefully that becomes a more sustainable thing, and the Royals do those things more often than they don't.
Another player that we haven't asked you about, and that I think it's always been more about being available and staying healthy than it was necessarily ability, that's Michael Massey, who I think heading into yesterday in his last 23 games that hit 4 homers, was batting .323. Yesterday, once again, comes up and stays hot. Now we got a 5-game hitting streak. What have you seen from him, and is it truly just about staying healthy for him?
I mean, I think it's staying healthy for everybody, too. I don't know if it's specifically for him. Obviously, the best ability is availability, but I mean, he looked awesome in spring training before he had his calf injury. I mean, he was maybe the most locked in of any guy during spring training this season, and then kind of got derailed with the calf strain that kept him out at the beginning of the season. So maybe to that point, Alex, maybe it is, a fully healthy and centered Michael Massey that's now seeing, consistent run and consistent at bats and has his timing down and has his swing where he wants it. I was talking to Joel the other day, and Joel was, sharing a conversation that he had with Michael about the perspective of trying to do a positive thing each day, something to help the team win. And if you get that done at the plate your first time around, that doesn't mean that you're done there. That means you try to do another positive thing the next time you're up. But if for some reason that first AB doesn't go your way, you've got 3, maybe 4 more chances to impact the game in a positive way. And I thought that was a really great mindset. I've always thought that Michael has a really great and advanced mindset of how to understand the ebbs and flows of this game. And he just looks so locked in right now. And I'll be honest, I'm surprised that teams are still throwing him fastballs because he is all over the heater right now.
Yeah, I guess a lot of the times, like for him, it's, like he said, it's the injury stuff. But also, he does possess power in the 15 to 20 range, which I feel like still is maybe the missing element of this offense, where it feels like Bobby, Vinny, Salvi, like all these guys are capable of hitting more, Jake, but it hasn't come in bunches yet. Are you still kind of optimistic, I guess, at some point maybe the faucet turns on there? Because I do think they have the players capable of hitting those, Jack Caglione and others.
Yeah, I'm optimistic, and part of that is just the time of the year. Now that we're into June and the weather's starting to heat up a little bit and the ball's going to start to jump a little bit more, I think that is going to have a sizable impact. We saw that with Bobby, right? He didn't have a single home run through the first 3 weeks of the season, but that wasn't so far out of the norm. It only had a couple of home runs in April a couple of years ago and then finished with 32. Last year only had 4 homers through April. So, he's a bat that really takes off power-wise once we get to June, July, and August. And I think a lot of the other Royals are the same way. It was a case with Salvi a couple of years ago, too. So I do think that that's sort of like now once we're getting into the hot time of the season, the summer of the season, you'll see the ball jump a little bit more, and those numbers start to pick up for the Royals.
Jake Eisenberg, he joins us each and every Friday here on the show. You hear him, of course, on 96.5 The Fan on plenty of nights throughout the baseball season. They are in Minneapolis as the Royals look to keep it going against the Twins. Appreciate it, man, and we'll definitely check in next week, and we'll see how the Jake Eisenberg broadcast experience goes.
Oh God, I hope that does well. Maybe call it the Royals radio experience. If you take my name off it, you might get some more money. As for the broadcast worn clothes, basically, I mean, whoever winds up purchasing that, thank you. Great donation to the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. But also, I'd like to shake your hand and just understand why you are the way that you are.
Jake, do you think as a part of the broadcast experience, they can get like one positive comment from Rex Hudler, just like a motivational comment from him, We could just toss that in?
Oh, absolutely.
That feels like that helps the price go up,
Hud'll be all over that.
Love it. All right, man. Have a great weekend in Minnesota.
All right, guys. Dig yourself.
There you go. Jake Eisenberg with us here on 96.5 The Fan.
He looked up. He had mentioned the one-run game. They won in a one-run game or two-run game last night. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I was kind of curious how they are in one-run games, because it does feel like – because this goes back to the thing. Are they a bad team, or are they bad at winning games? And, like, to me, there is a difference between those two things. I happen to think they are bad at winning games, not a bad collection of players. Now, they got problems in the bullpen, and obviously because of the injuries to the pitching staff, some issues there. They're not a flawless team either. I just looked it up. Do you know what the Royals' record is in one-run games this year?
No idea.
4-12. Awful.
Oh, there you go.
I mean,
that's a lot. That's bullpen, and that's mainly bullpen.
Yeah, but that feels like or a clutch hit in the 8th inning, like you just said. And so, like, sometimes when we like search for these deeper meanings behind what's been going wrong with the team, maybe we can just dial it in to one or two stats that are seemingly the issue. The Royals haven't been able to get a clutch hit and have blown far too many games. And when you're like 4-12 in one-run games, hell, they'd only be a few games under 500 if they were just 500 in those games. The White Sox, hear about the teams that would be like, in this way it matters. The teams that are around you that you're like, don't we have as much talent as them? Chicago White Sox, 12-6 in one-run games. They're closing all of those.
That's the biggest difference for the White Sox this year in general. We wonder why have they positioned themselves where they have. Yes, they've got some talent, but also that was a team that everybody was beating up on, and then you just said they're 12-6 in one-run games. I mean, I bet you a year ago or 2 years ago they were 1-11 or something like that.
Guardians 10-8. It's like the teams who are ahead of you, not surprisingly, have a way of closing out, or even teams that are having good years, right? Like the Cardinals, they're in the NL, but they're 11-6 in one-run games. The Tampa Bay Rays are 9-2. I'm not even saying you have to be 9-2 in the one-run games. Not 4-12. That feels like a 500 situation.
Yeah,
can you win half of the games in which it is decided by one run? Can you be the team who gets the one run? That's not asking too much. That's what most of the league is based on looking at these standings. Most of them are like the Rangers, who are 9-10, or the Nationals, who are 9-9. You know,
you're right that it could also be not getting a clutch hit with runners on late in the game. But I still think that particular stat to me is way more about what we know, which is this bullpen's been a massive problem. They don't have a closer,
and they're hitting with runners in scoring position is bad, which means the ninth inning when you need a hit, you're not getting it.
Everything you rattled off is what bad when we look at teams that have bad years.
Yeah.
Those are the metrics. Those are the reasons why teams fail to meet expectations.
They also have a losing record against teams with a losing record, which is probably more than concerning for a team like that. That goes in the bad team.
They've lost a lot of games. They've lost 38 games. It's June 5th.
After the road series win and the one last night, the game last night, they're all the way up to 10-21 on the road.
Okay.
Borderline 500 at home.
Coming up in 15 minutes, we'll talk some Chiefs football. Andy Reid, his future, and how important this year is for this entire regime. That's coming up in just a little bit. I do want to get to something we didn't have on the rundown, but I just saw it come across, Cody. And do we think this is a nothing burger? Could this play a role in the rest of the offseason? Baker Mayfield was asked about his contract extension talks with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And he told a local reporter down there, Rick Stroud, he's a longtime beat writer for the Tampa Bay Times, quote, "Not anywhere close to what we were thinking. Would love to be here long term, but as of right now, that's not exactly the case." I think Adam Schefter even alluded to that. Baker does not want to negotiate during training camp. So he's trying to put a deadline on this thing, which is basically like, let's get an extension done before July 20 something or whenever the Bucs open up their training camp. Like, the Bucs have no other choice. Baker's got the leverage here. They're going to get a deal done. I mean, they have. This guy has been amazing for them as a quarterback. I understand they haven't got to a Super Bowl or anything like that, but for him, he's resurrected his career there. He's obviously been a stable point for that position for them. He has already gotten a new contract since he's been with the Bucs, 3 years, $100 million, but he wants a new deal. It's always trying to keep up.
He only has 1 year left on his deal.
He doesn't want to be a lame duck. He's got a $39 million cap hit this year, which is actually low nowadays for quarterbacks.
Yeah,
and you're right. He's done after this. He'll turn 32 after this season. He wants some security. They're going to get an extension. I'll be shocked if they play this out to where there's not one. Because otherwise, he's basically saying, he's saying, if we don't get a deal done before camp, this will be my final year under contract. And if I have another good year, I'm a free agent next year at 32. Some other teams will sign me.
Tampa's probably in a bit of a tough spot where he'll be 32 as he enters free agency if he doesn't sign this deal. He's averaging 4,000 yards a season, 30 touchdowns a season, 10 picks a season, roughly. That will keep you in. And you're only 32. 32's old, but not for quarterbacks. Someone might still think they got 5, 6, 7 years left of quarterback play to you. Maybe it's not that many, but I'll tell you right now, they're at least thinking that's a possibility. And so somebody will pay him. The question is, does he want to start over again? He had to start over after the miserable 4 years in Cleveland, and to which he was not as bad as a lot of other Cleveland quarterbacks, but they ran him out of town. Then he went to Carolina, and that meant nothing. He showed almost nothing at the Rams in a couple of games, but enough to get him a deal. And in Tampa Bay, it's he's looked like a starting NFL quarterback. Maybe a league average one, but a starting NFL quarterback. And so we know he'll get paid.
Yeah.
The question is, do they want to continue down the mediocrity route? Are they thinking they want one of the quarterbacks in next year's draft? That's why who wants to get paid? He wants a little security. I don't blame him.
Yeah, and it's smart of him to set this deadline of training camp and try to put an end date to it to force a real negotiation and deal to get done. It's just a quarterback deal to watch. I also am with you. I think they'll get it done. Otherwise, to me, he'll hit free agency, and for his sake, I think he's resurrected his career enough where he could go have success somewhere else. In my opinion, I think Todd Bowles has been holding that franchise back. So I think Baker Mayfield at age 32, if in fact this is his last year in Tampa, if that actually were to happen, even with the draft class coming up, he would find a home, and I think he'd have success I think he's got another 3 good years in him.
I'm trying to think about because next year's going to be a really interesting year for free agent NFL quarterbacks, because there's going to be a lot of teams in the drafted quarterback market. And so the question is, which of those teams want to start their guy right away, and which of these teams will be giving up? The teams we know for sure will need a quarterback next season. Miami, probably. I mean, let's be honest. We at least think they'll be in the mix for needing a quarterback. We don't think Malik Willis's deal, but I think they'll be drafting one, not signing another guy like Baker. The Jets, it's not that many, right? Pittsburgh, Cleveland, probably in the mix, we would think. Pittsburgh for sure, because there'll be no more Aaron Rodgers. Cleveland, almost assuredly, they would be in the mix. But then there's like the ones you don't know, like, will the Titans want one? Will the Colts want one? Will Daniel Jones or Cam Ward show enough that they're unwilling or willing to move? Nobody from the AFC West is changing quarterbacks next year. And I don't think anybody from the NFC North will be changing quarterbacks. My guess is that Kyler Murray will have success and stay the starting quarterback of the Vikings. At least it's a possibility. So, like, I think he's going to have a limited market is all. But if you're the Bucs, just fire Bowles. Try to surround Baker Mayfield with talent and try to have a Seahawks year. It doesn't seem that crazy to me. Having a quarterback who makes $50 million a year is still a lot less than some of these other teams are paying.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance things are tougher, though, for Baker, this year. We all saw last year what Egbuka could do early on in the year. But remember, Mike Evans is gone, right? Where did Mike Evans end up signing, guys? San Francisco. That's right. Signed in San Francisco. So there's no Mike Evans there anymore. They lost some pieces on the defensive side of the ball. The good news is that division is still very winnable for anybody in the NFC South. And the Bucs are still the favorite, believe it or not.
Doesn't surprise me.
The Panthers won it last year. The Saints, they got something maybe in Tyler Shuck. Second year, Kellen Moore. Is there something there? They lose Cam Jordan. It's jumbled, man. The Bucs are plus 190. Saints are plus 260. Panthers plus 310. Falcons plus 320. I mean, their Bucs are definitely the favorite, but you could honestly, if I told you any one of those teams won the division, you can't be shocked.
No.
I don't think the Panthers are repeating as NFC South champs. I don't buy into it still with Bryce Young. But you tell me the Bucs win or the Saints or the Falcons find a way to get it done. I actually think the Falcons at plus 320 are the best bet in that division.
They might have the best. They definitely have the best offensive weapons on aggregate, but that doesn't mean anything from a winning perspective. The real question is they were all pretty much around 500 last year except the Falcons, and the Falcons got better because they might have a functional quarterback. So that helps, at least in the winning department, as all those other teams know. Yeah, predicting the Panthers, I didn't even like the Panthers team last year. They do have a slightly better defense than some people probably give them credit for, but that might be because we don't watch the Panthers play football very often. But if you're the Seahawks are going to convince some teams that they can win it. And it's rare. It's not as rare as some other leagues. Winning a Super Bowl with a guy like Sam Darnold does not happen very often. And their roster was loaded. So if you're the Bucs, you got to think, can we surround? Like, Darnold wasn't even making Baker Mayfield money. Like, he got a good check, but he wasn't even making that kind of cash.
But the Bucs' chance to do that, I think, at least, guys,
was 2 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
2 years ago. Not now. Baker's a little bit older. He got beat up last year. Bucky Irving's hurt. We'll see if they get him back and ready. That shoulder's not right for him. Mike Evans is gone. Chris Godwin is not the same player that he was 4 years ago. I like Egbuka. I think we all do. Their defense lost, what's his name? The veteran.
Levante David?
Yeah, I mean,
he retired.
It's not as good of a roster, I would argue, as it was a year or two ago.
That Panthers defense might be a lot better. I forgot.
Panthers defense is pretty solid.
I forgot I'm
just not buying into Bryce Young.
Devin Lloyd and Jalen Phillips in free agency. I forgot about that.
Yeah, the defense is great. They're gonna be right there in the divisional conversation because nobody's running away with it. Bryce Young was Mr. Clutch. That's something you like in a quarterback. He definitely found ways to make plays late, which is what you want. But I don't still look at him and think, man, they figured out that he's their long-term guy. They basically told us that they exercised his fifth-year option because they don't want to give him an extension yet. They're not sure. Same with C.J. Stroud over in Houston.
Fair,
I think Bryce Young's not very good.
I think he's a lot better than people think.
I think he is average and he's clutch. Does that make sense? I think he's average, but he's clutch.
If you can get him in a playoff game against the problem is this year, it's like Bryce Young's not getting him past the Seahawks, getting him past the Rams. Like some of these rosters are just too good.
They beat the Rams last year too, which is kind of funny enough.
I know. They in the regular
because
season,
Bryce was so good.
Yeah.
And then they lost that. Who did they play in the playoffs? They lost the opening round game.
Didn't they play the Rams?
Was it the Rams again?
And
they lost.
And it was tight, but then,
He just got to take another step forward. That's his whole thing. Bryce Young, it's like, I'm not ruling him out yet, but he's got to take another step forward, and I've yet to see anything that makes me.
What do you have? 3,000 yards. Yeah, so last year, 3,000 yards, 23 touchdowns, 11 picks, 63% completion.
What did he run for? Because, those aren't
Bryce
great
doesn't
numbers.
run that much.
He's mobile, but he's not like a.
He didn't do it in college either. He didn't run a lot in college.
I'm trying to answer your question. Yeah, 216 yards.
Yeah. Bryce Young doesn't run.
He had more yards his first 2 years in the league.
Yeah.
I thought maybe he had 4 or 5. But no.
To his credit, he's been available though, right? The only time he didn't start was when they benched him for a couple games, and then I will say it actually, I guess, kind of worked. Like whatever Dave Canales was trying to get out of him.
He's been slightly better since then. So
Pro Football Reference says his nickname is the Carolina Reaper, which I've never heard anybody call him that in my life. But Carolina
I haven't
Reaper.
either. But they also, like, if you look at the ones from Mahomes and other people, they're just insane.
Yeah.
They're just making things up.
All right, up next, let's talk about the Chiefs a little bit and the future for Andy Reid and this coaching staff. How big of a year is it? And as we mentioned, we'll talk a little KU baseball. They're hosting a super regional against Oklahoma tomorrow in Lawrence. We'll check in with Andrew Riedel, who covers college baseball, and we'll find out what he thinks of this regional and the rest of the bracket next.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Cole Reagans, and you're listening to Cody and Gold. Weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
I don't know if it feels like this to everyone else, but it feels like there's been more severe weather, at least more things interrupted by severe weather this year. That could have been causing damage to your roof. Find out by contacting Century Roofing. They can do an estimate and give you an idea of if it's repairs that you need or a full roof replacement. They've done over 30,000 roofs in the metro area. Been in business for over 35 years. Best roofing company in Kansas City. Last year, thanks to readers over the Kansas City Star. They're the kind of company who's going to stand behind their warranty. I don't think you want to underestimate that when it comes to working with roofing companies because, like even our boss was complaining. He's still getting calls from random companies like, oh, we'll take care of it. Oh, we'll do it. And the person who did that for my friend's roof a few years ago, you didn't see him anymore. They had a problem that they needed fixed, and you can't get a hold of them. You want a roofing company who's locally owned and operated, continues to work in the Kansas City area, that you can trust to do the work right the first time, but if you have questions, are available to answer them, to stand behind their warranty. That's what Century Roofing can do for you. And they're honest. I thought I might need a full roof replacement the last time. They said, no, just some repairs and you're good to go. We'll take care of those. I thought, maybe I got enough hail to justify an insurance claim, and we walked through it a little bit, and they're like, I don't think you need it just yet. Let's wait for the right opportunity and for the time in which the roof actually shows the damage. So it's a company that you can trust to handle things the right way, whether it's repair or roof replacement. Century Roofing KC will take care of those needs for you. So trust the pillars of strength. Go to female-owned and locally owned Century Roofing at centuryroofingkc.com.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
The Kansas City Auto Show is back, taking over the Overland Park Convention Center with more brands, more test drives, free parking, and all new family-friendly features. Get your tickets now at kcautoshow.com. The Kansas City Auto Show, going on now through Sunday.
He's a former coach with two sons who played professional basketball. Satch Sullinger's a competitive individual, but his golf game was suffering because of painful joints.
Right, that's real important. The golf game. Right. As we get older, we create these bad habits because we're relegated to hit a certain way.
QC Kinetics used regenerative treatments, all natural healing properties from Satch's own body, to restore those damaged joints and get his golf game back on track.
QC Kinetics regenerative medicine is regenerating me, all natural. And that's what I'm about. I'm going to tell everybody why I'm better.
Oh, and by the way, looks like the competitive Satch is back.
We're all in the same boat, and I'm getting better, and I'm watching them stay old.
Go to QCkinetics.com. Get relief and your game back. Call for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
Hey guys, it's Rob Brennan from The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, and we're excited to announce the launch of Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series documenting the run-up to the upcoming World Cup with our friends over at 98.1 KMBZ.
And I'm Scott Parks from Dana and Parks on KMBZ. Beyond the Pitch KC features the biggest names who helped make the World Cup in Kansas City possible. And there was a lot of work, plus the major storylines heading into this summer's tournament.
This is so much more. This isn't just a podcast about soccer.
No, you're right, Rob. It's a podcast about Kansas City, for Kansas City, telling the story of how our town is hosting the world's biggest sporting event.
New episodes drop every Wednesday starting on March 4th, along with video clips that can be seen on 96.5 The Fan and KMBZ social channels.
So make sure you subscribe. Download Beyond the Pitch KC with Rob Brennan and myself, Scott Parks, on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey, it's Rob Brennan. We hope you're enjoying Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's biggest sporting event. It's presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. New episodes released every Wednesday on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The 5th annual Cody and Gold Garage Sale is back Wednesday, June 10th, with all auction items benefiting the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
O'clock hour here on Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. We'll get to the trash of the day in about 20 minutes or so. We're also about 8 minutes away from talking some college baseball with someone that covers college baseball on a national level as the Kansas Jayhawks hosting a super regional against Oklahoma this weekend. We talked about to start the show today. Tickets went on sale, whatever tickets were left at 10. It looks like based on the website, even though it'll show that there's some that they are sold out, it looks like, at this point in time. I mean, immediately, you went on just like last week. You go in there, you select your tickets, and
you can't even purchase them by the time you get in. Yeah,
and that's even with they tried to add some extra seating, the backyard decks, and an extra standing room only area by moving the visiting team bullpen and all that. But look, it's a smaller stadium, and demand is extremely high. People want to be there to see if the Jayhawks can make some history and punch their ticket to the College World Series. They have been in the College World Series actually back in 1993, but that was a much different format. There wasn't super regionals back then and all that. I'm just hoping the weather holds off for this weekend, but otherwise it's going to be a pretty cool scene out there. They will once again set a new attendance record, clearly with the additional seating now out at the ballpark.
I gotta say though, like the few tickets that came up on the secondary market,
oh, the pricing's crazy.
What world are you living in, Drew? for a seat in gravel with no particularly good view. Someone was asking a ticket.
Now, people can list
college sports are kind of getting there in general.
$1,000. But those tickets were $30-$40.
They're $30 for the backyard seats with fees and everything. I will say, you know this, you can list a ticket for any price. They can list it for $1 million if they want to.
eBay or something.
We'll see what it goes for. I do know last weekend, though, the backyard tickets for, was that Sunday? They were still going for $250. $190.
Yeah.
So it would not surprise me if people are if there's someone that's going to try to sell them on the secondary market, that even the backyard GAs, if those aren't going to go for $300 or $400 this week. And I could see it. I believe it. And the actual reserve seats, some of those are probably going to go for $600. I believe that's real. $1,000 for the backyard probably is someone pipe dream, but
I don't
it's
know
crazy.
what's worse, the $1,000 for a backyard, or the fact that FIFA has decided not to allow water bottles for
that?
safety concerns, as in the safety of our wallet won't get big enough if we don't charge you to buy a reusable water bottle inside the stadium. What a ripoff!
Yeah.
Come on, FIFA. I mean, genuinely,
This is FIFA.
I know
FIFA
you're
for you.
corrupt and it's like a racket, but damn,
FIFA.
You got just no soul. You got no line. No line you won't cross, FIFA. And it's just like the answer is no. And here's the good news is for us, it's not like we have to kiss their ass. We can say whatever we want. I don't know, not change the name of our building. It's not Odyssey to FIFA radio station, so we're fine. But it's just genuinely, you're not even going to let me bring in a bottle of water. You're not even going to let me bring in one.
Yeah, and some of those matches, it's going to be
hot as hell.
Brutal. I don't know if you already saw next week what we're about to have. We're about to have some heat index, 105 degree heat index next week for the first Fan Fest day. First day of the World Cup when Mexico's playing South Africa. I think it's next Thursday. I was going to try to go down to Fan Fest. I'm still going to go, but I just saw the heat index could be 105 that day, so it's going to be a little warm. I
know we're going to talk some Kansas baseball coming up here in about 3 or 4 minutes or so.
Yep.
Somebody covering the event over there at the Super Regionals. I will say, a reminder, the Cody and Gold Garage Sale is Wednesday, June 10th. Just 5 days away. We have over 120 items up already, with more to be added. Hopefully more experiences added here shortly as well. One of the experiences that we like to offer is golf with the producers. We are having a hard time finding a course lining up with it. Typically, we have worked with, the similar golf course. They're closed at the moment. So as they go through renovations, we haven't been able to do it. If you work at a golf course, if you are currently a superintendent at a golf course, help us out. Let us know which course you think might be willing to work with us. We've tried a number in the area. We would like to offer that experience to raise more money for the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. Drew's been striking out. So if you know of a place that you think would be a good fit, let us know on the text line 913-586-7965. We've resorted to begging in an effort to try to raise the money for the museum.
That's right.
It is an event we'd like to offer. If it doesn't work out, we'll figure out something else you can do with Drew. Maybe the shirtless jog. Will Drew agree that
Shirtless
we can't find
jog with all the producers. We'll see if Rob and Mac are fine with Drew. Maybe Drew will do it if I think Drew's on board. If it means if it means Mac and Rob also have to go shirtless jogging, maybe Drew will be in.
I think they would disagree in a heartbeat.
There's no way Rob would agree to that. I don't think Mac would either.
Yeah, I don't
Mac
think
might.
so.
Young kid, you don't think about the consequences.
Rob is an absolute.
You're in your 20s.
No chance.
Yeah, Rob would
There's
be
no chance Rob would
absolutely
agree.
not.
No
Absolutely
chance.
not. I agree.
No chance.
Rob would say no.
Not even for charity?
No.
He would not.
Rob would.
He would not. No way.
There's
He's married.
zero
Mac's about
chance.
to get married.
We're going to send you guys out to, you're going to be at Tee Shots or Top Golf or something. Golf with the producers isn't going to look as
tap
good.
in place
Or the tap in place. Yeah, whatever.
I mean, yeah. We'll see.
I appreciate I know for a fact that our show is very popular with the golf course crowd. Every time I go play golf, it's just some starter who's just got the station on permanently, or someone in the clubhouse who's got it on. So talk to your boss. Help us out. Send me an email. Do I have to say that out? It doesn't matter. Sure. Send me an email to,
Don't do that.
Do you think it's a bad idea?
Yeah.
My email's publicly available on the website.
Go ahead.
Anybody can find it.
Go for it.
If you have an organization that will work for the golf course, you can send me an email to cody.tap@odyssey.com. Odyssey spelled Audacy. I feel like the movie's only going to hurt us in the current branding of this for the Odyssey that's getting ready to come out. People are going to really spell our name wrong now. Do you want to see that? You seem like a war epic.
Yeah.
Massive.
That's right up my alley.
Yeah.
No, I definitely will.
That's all. Mostly the text line is just full of people of have you thought of a golf
Yeah,
course? I'm familiar with the ones in the area. I just didn't know if
we need somebody that works
somebody
at
has
one
a
of them
connection.
that can get us in touch with the right person. That's all.
We are happy to help, I guess, in that category. I still can't believe FIFA's not doing water bottles. It's offensive, Gold.
Well, it's also dangerous.
Are you
I
paying?
mean, honestly, it's dangerous that you're not. If the heat is going to be what it's going to be for some of these matches, they should allow fans to bring in a water bottle. And I guess they assume if you're spending $500 on tickets that you're going to buy a water bottle. I don't know.
Well, sometimes it's
crazy.
like, I understand if I spend $1,000 on some tickets, I can afford a $10 water bottle. The point, I don't want to.
Yeah, see, people, this is why you shouldn't have given you're going to start getting a bunch of spam. People are signing you.
I'll just unsubscribe.
People are signing you up for, someone said they're signing you up for the Chippendales email marketing list.
Correct.
You're going to start getting all kinds of spam. And
It was a risk, but for charity,
working
I love charity. I'll do it for the charity. Maybe you guys won't, but I will.
All right, let's go out to the hotline and welcome in Andrew Rydell of College Baseball Central to talk about the Jayhawks and the Sooners, Super Regional in Lawrence. Andrew, great to have you on the show. Did you ever think you'd be covering a Super Regional, not only with the Kansas Jayhawks in it, but let alone them hosting a regional like this?
First off, thanks for having me on, guys. With the Jayhawks, to be honest, yes. With the star power they've gathered this year, honestly, yes. I think Coach Fitzgerald, Coach Coyne, I think they've done a phenomenal job with the group they've gathered on this roster this year. With them hosting a regional, or hosting a super regional for this matter, to be honest, I think the committee kind of did them dirty by having them as a 15 seed. So I thought they were done dirty by the NCAA. I thought they deserved to be a little bit higher. But it's a really fun time in Lawrence for a bunch of those Jayhawk fans.
No question. Like, this team's for real. I don't think anybody's questioning that anymore. They appear to be able to beat anybody. What are they up against, though, this weekend against Oklahoma? Because the Jayhawks are favorites, but I don't have to tell you, in college baseball, anything can happen. We just saw the Sooners go and beat the number 2 team in the country in Georgia Tech.
Well, so with Oklahoma, it's very interesting because a bunch of the arms they rolled out at the beginning of the season compared to now, it's a bunch of freshmen stepping up for the Sooners lately. Obviously, their game 1 starter is going to be Xander Mercuris. His brother's also on the team in LJ, which you'll probably see as well. But at the beginning of the year, it was Cameron Johnson, an LSU transfer, that stepped up for the Sooners this year. But they're rolling out some freshmen to start out this weekend. Cord Rager, his stats, I think, are a little misleading. I think he's a very good pitcher, but it's going to be a tough test against this offense, who's been heating up as well. Camden Johnson, a Wichita State kid, I believe, hit .310 this year with 8 home runs, and then their catching duo, Dean LaChance, and then you got guys like Dayton Taki and Kyle Branch. The offense is legit for Oklahoma, and I think if Oklahoma makes some noise, it's going to be a slugfest this weekend.
As good as Oklahoma is on offenses, Kansas is better, I guess, just knowing that that's been the strength of their run so far.
Yes, Kansas, in my opinion, yes, Kansas' offense is much better. I think Kansas has, outside of, trying to think here, maybe Georgia and Texas. I think Kansas has one of the best offenses left in the NCAA tournament still.
When you look at, I guess, the odds, you'd mentioned the NCAA you thought did them dirty. They're in the middle to lower half of the current odds to win the entire College World Series right now. Do you think that that's fair, or do you think that they should be taken more seriously up amongst some of the teams that have slightly better odds like Alabama or West Virginia?
I think they should have better odds. I think that West Virginia series in Lawrence at Hogland, that was a little weird of a series where it felt like they could have easily taken some games, but obviously West Virginia just kind of took it to them. But I think that they're also being disrespected on the Bucks. I think their odds should be a little bit higher. I think that they have a very legitimate shot of winning it all. I think Alabama, you mentioned Alabama and comparing them to this Kansas team. I think Kansas has a better offense. And the way that some of these guys have been pitching down the stretch for Kansas, like Dominic and some other guys, Dominic Beaudry out of the bullpen, Mason Cook, I think that Kansas is just you mentioned it, that the offense isn't being slept on. I think the pitching is still being slept on a little.
We're talking to Andrew Rydell, College Baseball Central, getting set for a Super Regional in Lawrence with the Jayhawks hosting the Sooners. You know, last week the Jayhawks had the regional, and there was a big push, and there still is, but a big push last weekend trying to get some money raised for an indoor baseball facility. when you play baseball in the Big 12 Conference and you're based in Lawrence, Kansas, and with the weather that you're dealing with in February and March, how important do you think it is that they get a facility like that to be able to retain a coach in Dan Fitzgerald that we all know is going to have some interest, to say the least, from other programs?
It's huge. That would be huge, especially talking to some people on our staff. I know Noah Darling, our founder, he's a big supporter of what Coach Fitzgerald and all of them have been doing at Kansas, and being able to give him the facilities like that, give him the NIL that can compete in the Big 12. They're going to be competing not with just the Big 12. They're just going to be competing to be getting back to Omaha every year at that point, because Coach Fitzgerald is doing such a phenomenal job. And if he's given those resources, he's going to take advantage of them and just keep bringing in guys. Not even like a junior college guy like Tyson LeBlanc, but bringing in some top talent that he can develop over 3 years before heading to them will be drafted with them. So I think facilities are going to be huge for Kansas. If they can finalize it, if they can get the money for it, it will be huge for them, and it will be huge for Kansas just in general, just to keep Coach Fitz around for a little bit longer.
Do you think what Kansas did in building this program is something that will try to get replicated across college baseball? Did they, in the way of building through JUCO or this way, do you think it's going to be a more common path?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of it's not a double-edged sword with what they've done, because they are going through junior colleges. It's not like they're living and dying through the transfer portal. I've been a big fan of Tyson LeBlanc because he did go to LSU Eunice, one of the top JUCOs in the country. Being able to pluck from schools like LSU Eunice, Pearl River, Johnson Community College, all of those schools that have such key foundation and JUCO legacies, I think it's very easy to keep them going and keep bringing them in and plugging them in after a year of development at the JUCO level.
So what chances do you give Kansas, though, this weekend? Obviously, it's a best-of-3 series. They start Saturday night, maybe have to play Monday if necessary. Do you think we'll be talking about them headed to Omaha?
Yeah, I think we're going to be talking about them going to Omaha. In the back of my head, I think that this series is going to go 3 games. I think that Oklahoma, just the way their pitching kind of shakes out, they could either be really good on the pitching side, and it's a double-edged sword here as well. So it's going to be either Kansas in 2 or they're going 3 games. I think Kansas in the offense is going to overpower this Oklahoma pitching staff, especially since we are talking about some young starters in the Oklahoma program. So I think that the Kansas lineup is just going to overwhelm them, and I think we're going to see a lot of fans happy leaving Hogland and maybe even booking some hotels in Omaha this week.
There you go. Sounds like a plan, man. Andrew Rydell, College Baseball Central. Thanks for the insight. Enjoy the weekend of games.
Thank you guys for having me on.
Absolutely. There you go. Andrew Rydell with us here on 96.5 The Fan. And, 2 wins away, man. It sounds so simple. Two wins away from headed to Omaha for a College World Series. Reminder, if they win this weekend in advance, the World Series starts next Friday, and then it lasts all the way to the following Sunday is how things work there in Omaha. And I can't imagine. It's always a fun scene in Omaha. I can't imagine if all of a sudden they become the Omahawks, man. That'd be a lot of fun.
Then a bunch of people driving up from the city to do it. 2 pieces of news in the NFL while we were talking to Andrew Rydell about Kansas upcoming series. 1, Broncos defensive end Jonathan Cooper was arrested Thursday night and is being held on 2 counts of domestic violence and 1 count criminal mischief. According to TMZ, so a Denver Bronco in trouble right now, so we'll continue to follow that as it could impact their season down the road. And it does appear like the Chicago Bears are barreling towards Indiana. The McCaskey family released a statement today, said that they're going to continue to advance their stadium development project in Hammond, Indiana, with the next exact site to be selected. Believe a world-class stadium project in Hammond will transform the region, connecting northwest Indiana to the south side of Chicago through the loop and across the neighborhoods and suburbs. So sounds like they're heading, not official, but heading to Hammond, Indiana. That'd be 2 teams in Indiana, none in Illinois. Very weird. NFL and the state line, the state line shift. Same thing the Chiefs did. Essentially, the Bears barreling towards the same. Yeah, their board of directors voted today to advance their stadium development there in Indiana, and this is the first time the Bears
board had voted on any stadium site. And you're right, the similarity. I think it's evident the same way it was evident with the Chiefs, despite their initial renovation plan on the ballot. I think the Bears always want to be in Hammond, Indiana.
They just wanted to make it seem like they cared about Chicago.
I think the Chiefs always wanted to be in Kansas, and there's the financial reason is the biggest reason for it.
Yep.
And I think we've seen that play out. We don't know what the financial dollar amount is there with the Chicago Bears going to Hammond. I know, what was it, on Monday, there was a Hail Mary attempt there in the Illinois legislature. I think their house of their legislature passed something at like 4 o'clock in the morning, or the Senate did, I'm sorry, and then the House never took it up, and so that kind of killed it. But this, I think, is what the Bears always wanted. So, yes, same thing there. They will still be called the Chicago Bears, even if they're in Indiana. Let's get out ahead of that one.
Yeah, and look, I think the distance between this one and where Kansas City is slightly bigger, but it's not way different. It's like 40-minute drive instead of like, I don't know, whatever you would call a 25-minute or 30-minute
If you looked at the two places that they were rumored to be at, it's roughly a similar drive to each area. So
I guess
it's just different because it's Indiana and it's than it is Chicago.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, in a weird way, like Hammond, Indiana doesn't feel like a part of the Chicago.
It is part of the Chicago metropolitan area.
It's
so
like right
that's
on
just
the edge.
because I'm not there, probably, is the truth.
Yeah.
But it is on the edge, and you're right, Drew. And so it feels like, and I'll go back and I said this at the time, so it's not new. I don't think the Chiefs ever wanted to be in Kansas City, and I think they did things
or Missouri,
and I think they did things half-assed in an effort to appear like they cared, but hoped that it would fail. If it passed, they'd have been fine to be in Arrowhead. They didn't actually really want to be there. They wanted to take the big fat check over at Kansas, which they did.
Was not
and
good.
yeah, I do think Chicago did something very similar. They knew where the real money was, where the real type of site they wanted to build was, and it was in Hammond. And so they asked for things they knew they probably weren't going to get from the Chicago area. And when they didn't get those things, now they're not the bad guy. Chicago wouldn't give us what we wanted, and they're playing it that way. Now, I will, I've already told you about the football experience. I think from a football end, if there's a move to the suburbs, sport that can handle it, football. It's a whole day event, whatever. I don't think that really changes much for your experience of the product. Being in downtown Chicago, driving 30 minutes, you got to be there 12 damn hours anyway. It takes forever to park, forever to go to a game, all that stuff. It's just a long process, so I don't care about that.
Trash of the day.
All right, this one I think might relate to Drew. I think we gave him a hard time, I don't know, a year ago. We were talking about like making food at home and the last time you had like this food, and we viewed it as maybe more childhoodish or whatever.
Yeah.
And you said, you can correct me if I'm wrong, you said you still have had SpaghettiOs recently, right?
Wife has SpaghettiOs. I do not.
But your wife does.
She had them the other
You guys
day.
have SpaghettiOs at the house.
You had them the other day?
Okay.
Yeah.
The other day. The other day.
Yes, the other day.
Okay, well, here we go. A Florida mother and her daughter are suing the makers of SpaghettiOs.
What?
They claim, which is Campbell's, they claim they were contaminated by worms or parasites and therefore unfit to eat.
I will say that'd be a hard food to see it in.
Yeah.
That's the tricky part.
Yeah.
You wouldn't necessarily notice a worm in a can of SpaghettiOs. It looks like a giant bowl full of worms.
So hang on.
Here, let me read the details.
Sure.
In a complaint filed on Tuesday, they say they discovered the alleged contamination around June 6th of 2024 after her and her daughter began eating SpaghettiOs at their home. There appeared to be worms or parasites actively moving within the food.
Come on.
They shot videos that clearly depict worm-like organisms moving within the food product, according to the complaint. They said they bought the pasta at a Walmart, which is also named in the lawsuit. Campbell's declined to comment on pending litigation. Walmart did not respond. They claim to suffer parasitic infections from eating their SpaghettiOs, while the mother reported gastrointestinal illness and sepsis. Her daughter reported nausea and vomiting. They're only actually seeking damages of $75,000.
Just enough to cover the medical expenses from the stomach issues, huh?
I think that'll get handled very quickly.
I don't know if they're going to win. Maybe they settle. I don't know if it's true. They claim they have video. We have not seen it. Of something moving in the SpaghettiOs.
I will
that's it. That's it. I'm done with anything out of a can. I'm done. I'm out.
When I go home, I will tell her, you're not eating SpaghettiOs anymore. It's not happening because of this, that, even though it was 2 years ago.
Hell no.
I guess
something else. We have to find a substitute.
I'm not, look, I get a convenience food like anyone else. It's just like those ones somehow missed the docket for me somewhere on the road. Like I just stopped buying like canned SpaghettiOs or ravioli or Hot Pockets.
I mean, I had it up until
or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like
probably up until college.
I've never had
I think
SpaghettiOs
that's fine.
before.
Even in college, like a Hot Pocket. I'm sure I had a Hot Pocket in my
Yeah.
20s.
Yeah.
But I haven't purchased a Hot Pocket in some time now.
No, I mean, as a kid, I definitely had SpaghettiOs, quite a bit. Absolutely. Chef
You gotta-
Boyardee, all that stuff.
Yeah, you got to have
as a
food
kid.
around the house that kids can prepare themselves easily, too.
I'm grossed
I
out.
will say, I just the thought of it, not even with the worms, just right now, the thought of eating a can of spaghetti it really doesn't.
Well, because the meatball on the Chef
it makes me
Boyardee
feel
is
kind of
cold.
gross thinking about eating it. I don't want to eat a can of SpaghettiOs.
Well, not now.
Yeah.
Again, it's one
Textline
lawsuit.
says it's one of the grossest things to feed anyone.
Is it?
I don't know. I mean, there's some.
It's a struggle meal.
Oh yeah. Drew, what's your quick fix? Drew's just slapping together a lunch. He's got 10 minutes. Hers is SpaghettiOs. What's yours?
If I have it, probably like a deli sandwich.
Deli sandwich, classic.
Buttered noodles, like those buttered noodles, man.
Or
in a bag, or you just melt some butter with some noodles?
the Lipton or Knorr brand, the buttered one. You just boil some water, you throw the noodles. That was always my hey,
I
I
got
just
some frozen meals too. Yeah.
get a bowl full of the butter noodles.
I don't
man.
know any frozen meals other than a pizza. I don't have any lean cuisines or whatever, I guess, or I don't have a lot of those.
I've got a
around
few of
anymore.
those.
I've got some for the kids, like corn dog nuggets or something, but I don't think I ever go to those. I think I'd get a deli sandwich before I did those.
Yeah. Someone says, why did you have to tell me the story, Gold? It's the trash of the day. We do it every day.
They might be at lunch. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you weren't planning on going home and opening up a can of SpaghettiOs. That's the trash of the day. All right.
I am curious. Somebody mentions this from the 816. Did they eat them cold, essentially? Did they not warm them up? I don't know how you would not warm them up, to be honest.
They said they saw something moving in the SpaghettiOs. I don't think it was the bubbles of the boiling
I would
water.
assume they heated it up, but yeah,
I'm a firm believer that some food should not in any way be consumed, even lukewarm, and SpaghettiOs as well. Those have got to be hot.
It's got to be like us soldering hot.
Yeah, if that is even lukewarm, disgusted, immediate no, this can't work.
The worst time on those chef...
Some foods have to be hot, like soup,
Yeah.
unless it's, I guess, cold, like gazpacho or something. But even then, I'm kind of out.
The worst was Chef Boyardee. You would think the broth was hot or whatever, the sauce, but then the spaghetti, the meatball, inside the meatball would still be kind of cold in the Chef Boyardee.
From the 316, you have to stop doing this. They said their son eats them straight out of the can. Says, no. You should not do that.
All right, up next,
please.
Chiefs Red Half
I'm
Hour.
raising a monster.
Something that Cody was thinking about with the AFC West, and let's talk more about running backs and what the split could look like here on Cody and Gold.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Baseball season is in full swing. We made it to the month of June. That means the summer heat is on its way. I mentioned I think we're going to get some heat indexes in the hundreds next week, unfortunately. And the guys over at Climate Control, well, they've been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years. They know how to get your cooling system ready to handle our scorching hot summer weather. Stay cool and comfortable this summer. Call Climate Control today at 816-265-2830 for all your cooling, heating, and plumbing needs. Don't wait. Visit climatecontrolkc.com today. Climate Control, heating, cooling, and plumbing.
I'm worried. Since your accident, we've got medical bills and you're missing work.
I know. I just don't know where to start.
We call SWL Injury Law the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do.
If they can help us get through this.
We've helped people just like you recover what they deserve. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
FanDuel is giving you even better payouts on same-game parlays all NBA playoffs long. And with more ways to build and more value every time you play, you can stack your picks your way for every game, every matchup, and every moment. From point spreads to player points to threes and so much more, you can build it all into one simple same-game parlay and go for an even bigger payout. So if you're betting a same-game parlay this NBA postseason, you can bet them with America's #1 sportsbook app with our friends over at FanDuel. More options, better payouts, all NBA playoffs long. So head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. One more time, that's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel puts player research right at your fingertips so you can check every stat, trend, and matchup all in one place. You can make your picks with confidence. Everything you need in just one app, so don't miss your shot. Head to FanDuel right now, America's #1 sportsbook app and official partner of the NBA, and play your game. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Rob Britton from The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, and we're excited to announce the launch of Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series documenting the run-up to the World Cup with our friends over at 98.1 KMBZ.
And Rob, I'm Scott Parks from Dana and Parks on KMBZ. Beyond the Pitch KC will feature the biggest names who made the World Cup in Kansas City possible, plus the biggest storylines heading into this summer's tournament. This is not a podcast about soccer. Don't get us wrong. This is a podcast about Kansas City. This is a podcast for Kansas City. And this is a podcast that'll tell the story of how our town is hosting the world's biggest sporting event.
New episodes will be released every Wednesday starting on March 4th, as well as video clips that can be seen on 96.5 The Fan and KMBZ's social channels.
Subscribe and download to Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series with myself, Rob Bretton, on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Royals coverage is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City.
Brought to you by Blue KC is the Coaches with Character program. Do you know a rock star high school coach in your district? Nominate them for the Blue KC Coaches with Character program at bluekc.com/nominate coaches with character. Let's make our coaches feel special and make our community a better place to live, work, and play.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC-Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road. Welcome in to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Every day at 11:30 with Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Here's the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Some of the, I mean, we're getting text still about the SpaghettiOs story. Some of the stuff people just eat raw out of the can is kind of nasty.
Someone said I'm a 38-year-old man who eats SpaghettiOs and meatballs straight out of the can, plus anything ravioli. I then asked, I said, this feels like divorced man behavior.
Hang on, you're leaving the part out of it.
Drew said, are you divorced?
No, hold on.
I asked Drew that he should ask him.
I'm peeling back the curtain. You tried to bully me into me into asking this person if they were divorced. I was like, you should ask him.
I responded. I did say this feels like.
I didn't know that.
I was chipping in. I just felt like.
So this is the thing. I don't know am I in this category or not. The only thing that I will eat out of the can is tuna. I will have tuna out of the can. Tuna and oil. I don't think that's as bad as
That just reminds
eating,
me of cat food.
That's not as bad as eating SpaghettiOs fresh out of the can when you're supposed to heat it up.
It's admittedly probably not important. I don't eat anything out of the can. I just put it in a bowl or on a plate.
But
it
you still
feels
eat
like a very low threshold. There's something like borderline like I'm worried that you're in a depressive state. About you, Drew, sitting on the couch at your house with a fork and your open can of tuna, like you're a junkyard cat from Heathcliff in the 80s, slowly eating your tuna out of it. It just seems sad. Like
I can only picture
you guys.
Do you guys remember the movie? This is way back in the 90s. Do you guys remember the movie Dennis the Menace?
Yeah.
Cody? Dennis the Menace?
Yeah.
Mr. Wilson. You remember the homeless guy that like scared everybody? You know, that was under the bridge? Mm-hmm. You remember the scene where he's cooking like the beans over the fire, and he opens that can, and it's disgusting. That's what I'm picturing during this entire conversation.
See, this is again, tuna. This person said they had to get stitches opening a can of sardines. Sardines, period. Nope.
Yeah.
It's a no for me.
All right. Maybe we'll ask our guest during Fan Club Friday about the SpaghettiOs.
I don't know.
Miss Dugan will join us in the 1 o'clock hour today. A lot to talk to her about.
She makes bread, right?
She does sourdough bread. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll ask her about the Mummy sourdough.
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
we'll get to that in the 1 o'clock hour.
My kitchen skip. We got so many things to get to.
There's a lot to discuss. She's also continuing to increase her social media following. She did, I think she opened for stand-up comic in the last month or so. So we'll get caught up with Miss Dugan in the 1 o'clock hour. Let's talk a little Chiefs football, though. You had some thoughts about the AFC West as we get about a month and a half or so away from training camp.
And not just because Jonathan Cooper got in trouble today for the Broncos, if you missed that. He's currently being held under suspicion of domestic violence, so we'll see what comes of that. He was a really good player for them last year, obviously, with 8 sacks. I was just thinking about the division as a whole, and I think the whole quality is going to be down this year. Who really the Chiefs got a little bit better, but they were also worse than the other two teams at the top.
Okay.
Yeah, the Raiders are a little bit better, but we've seen this a million times. You get the rookie quarterback, your win total doesn't really change much year one. You win 3 or 4 games, the roster's still a mess. Your quarterback plays a little bit better, but it doesn't result in that many more wins. They're about the same. Broncos got worse, Chargers got worse. The division is worse.
Hold on, the Chargers got worse?
I think so.
How did the Chargers get worse?
So
I think Mike McDaniel's a huge boost for them offensively.
Offensive coordinator-wise, I guess they did improve in that category. They didn't really do anything to solve, I think, permanently their offensive line issues. They're still just banking on hope the offensive tackles are healthy and one of the 17 guards we drafted or signed is better, but I don't think they took real shots there. They didn't get better in the wide receiver unit, so maybe at tight end they got slightly better, although I think sometimes that can be exaggerated unless they're going to completely change schemes once again.
Mike McDaniel uses 2 tight ends.
And they lost a couple guys on defense. I don't think the Chargers are at best are the same. Okay. The Broncos, I think, definitely, they added Waddle, but I think they got worse on the defensive line, which was their single biggest strength. To me, that becomes a problem where if you can't operate the way you used to, now you got to rely on Bo Nix to be better and those things. I don't think any of these teams got better except the Chiefs, and I think the Chargers and Broncos also just have the regression part coming their way.
Well, I do agree with that.
In the sense that some of these guys who had their best seasons aren't going to. I just think it's like I think it's like 90% of last year's. I just don't think it's as good.
I think from a win total perspective, I would agree with you. Like the Broncos, to me, are not getting to 14 wins again. 100% with you there. Yeah. But I don't think that means the division is just taking a step back, right? Like the Broncos could suddenly be a 12 or 13 win team. The Chiefs go from 6 to a 10 or 11 win team. The Chargers are still around a 10 or 11 win team. The Raiders are a 5 or 6 win team. That's not a bad division. And in fact, I would argue that's better than what it was last year. So I disagree. I get what you're saying, that there are questions. Can the Broncos sustain all the one-score games they were winning and everything? Most likely not, and that's why they won't win 14. But I think the Chargers are kind of in the same win total range as a year ago. And then the Chiefs, well, maybe you're hesitant on whether they can get to 12 or 13. I think we all agree they're going to win more than 6 games this year. So I think the division is top to bottom better than what it was a year ago.
I think the Chiefs' record will be better. The Broncos' record will be worse, but that doesn't necessarily equal.
But
to
if
the
everybody
quality.
has,
How do the
let's say
Chargers
everybody
get better
has
other
11,
than just hoping Mike McDaniel unlocks something?
yeah. But if everybody averages 11 wins, that's a better division. Everybody but the Raiders averages 11 wins. That's a better division than a year ago. Yeah, Mike McDaniel. It's not a player to your point, but Mike McDaniel to me is a huge deal for that offense moving forward, and for Justin Herbert. And yeah, they're banking on their O-line just being healthy. Of course, they weren't going to go draft another tackle. They've already put so many resources in. The only plan for the Chargers is that their tackles are not hurt week 1 this year, because they already spent massive capital on the O-line. So in their mind, it is just about health. Now, we can debate whether or not they're going to stay healthy. It's the Chargers' track record. Most likely, no. But if that offensive line is healthy, that is a drastically better O-line than what they had a year ago. My question for them is their defense. They lost Jesse Minter, who's now the head coach in Baltimore, right? And so that, to me, is where they could get way worse. Offensively, I actually think they're going to be pretty damn good this year. I really do.
I will say one of the interesting things to follow early is the Broncos' offense better or worse or the same with a new person calling plays and a new offensive coordinator, but the same guy who engineered and designed the original offense still being a part of it? I just think the running backs are the same. They did get better at wide receiver. I openly admitted that. But again, I just don't think that, they lost one good pass rusher. And look, I don't know about the Jonathan Cooper thing. We'll see what comes of that. That could be nothing. The legal process typically has to take hold, which means the odds of him missing any time in a regular season match, probably not super high this season, or at least not until next year or some other time. Their defense is probably not going to fade just yet. They probably got at least one more, maybe 2 years of high-level defensive effort in order to get there. Maybe the Broncos are the same. I definitely think the Chargers are worse. And I don't, for whatever they get in getting McDaniel, they lose in losing Minter, I guess. Unless you just think that Harbaugh is, and he's a defensive-minded guy, so maybe he was more acceptable there on the other side. But I don't understand these teams that change. It's happening with Jaden Daniels, too. I do not understand this feeling. It happened with Alex Smith. It's happened with Baker Mayfield. You cannot just constantly hot swap offensive coordinators and hope it's going to work in a year. As much as I like Mike McDaniel, he might not be able to fix this thing in a year just because he's a good offensive mind and a good offensive coordinator. They've had 15 of them for Justin Herbert in just 6 years. How many different offensive coordinators has he had?
I don't think it's Jalen Hurts bad, but they've had
at least 3.
Yeah, it's not as bad as Jalen Hurts, but
they have had Kellen Moore. Oh, it is as bad. You're wrong. I think. Let's see. They've had
the way whenever this happens.
It is as bad. No, I was just saying I was actually with you, Drew. I didn't think it was as bad either.
Cody always says it so definitively.
See, this is where you're wrong.
I understand, but
that one wasn't meant to be an attack. Kellen Moore, Greg Roman, now Mike McDaniel. When did Herbert get drafted? Because he might have had Joe Lombardi.
Same year as Joe Burrow.
Joe Lombardi, too. So this is his 4th offensive coordinator. Drew, that's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
4 OCs, Lombardi, Kellen Moore, Greg Roman. They're one of these guys will fix it. Maybe not. No,
I think they're, again, I'm not telling you the Chargers are going to go win 14 games, but I think they're once again right there in the mix for the division, at the top of the division. So that's a 11-win football team or 10-win football team. If you tell me the Chiefs are not winning the division, I think the Chargers have a really good shot to do it. I know everybody's very down on Bo Nix, and the question is about the one-score games, but I think this is going to be extremely competitive. That's why I kind of push back on the idea that this division is going to be way weaker. I don't think so. If we're just basing it off of top-end win total, yes, it will not be as good. But I think the rest of it is going to be ultra-competitive. I even think the Raiders will steal a game from somebody they have no business stealing this year.
I think the Raiders are going to be, I don't know, it's weird. What was the record last year? Obviously,
2 and
terrible.
whatever.
They drafted Mendoza number 1 overall.
They might only win 5 or 6 games, but I think they'll be a lot more just in general. They might only win 4, but from a competitive standpoint, I feel like they'll be
3-14.
I feel like they'll be able to just be more competitive all around. It's not going to be a cakewalk to beat them most of the time. 5
or 6 wins, yeah. I think they could get to 6 if everything went great for them. Kirk Cousins starting early on gives them, believe it or not, a chance to win a game or 2 early. We wouldn't have thought.
It's weird.
It's crazy. This will be their 4th head coach in the last 4 years.
Suck. The Raiders are a joke of a franchise.
It is Pierce, McDaniels, Carroll, and now Kubiak.
If I was a Chiefs fan, I would be hoping the Raiders go 6-11. The last thing that you want is have to face Jeremiah Smith. That'd be the last thing that I would want to have happen.
I'm not concerned about the Raiders even for years because I like Mendoza, but to me he's never going to be a top tier quarterback that you're freaking out about.
I understand, but you got Jeremiah Smith.
I understand,
Will Howard looked great, and again,
I know, but that's college. But
I understand, but Jeremiah Smith is that dude.
Oh, Jeremiah Smith is a stud, and just like Brock Bowers is a stud, but what does that got them? You know what I mean? Like. I think their quarterback, Mendoza, best case scenario is, I keep using the example, is Derek Carr, which is a really nice quarterback, but never a guy that you're fearing playing a football game that's going to haunt you for a decade. No, there's no, they did not worry now that they have the next Joe Burrow or Lamar or Josh Allen in their division. They have maybe the next Derek Carr in their division, so it's a good thing.
Isn't it crazy? Including interim head coaches, since 2021, the Raiders have had 7 different people be a head coach. 7. Bisaccia, Gruden, McDaniels, Pierce, Carroll, and now
I think Kubiak also might be they've done it feels like they've done a really nice job.
It's on paper, it looks like they're heading in a good direction.
Yes, a good direction.
It is very quickly though. Sometimes we're like, oh, Kubiak's not the guy. Because like we all like the hires originally. Like initially, I think a lot of times we like the hires. Like it's hard to like. I remember people being like, oh, Hackett's going to be great for Denver. He's going to get the most. Like, I'm not saying it's going to be Hackett bad or anything. It is easy to like it on paper. I feel like sometimes these new head coaches, we got to give them a few years.
I mean, in fairness, he did just win a Super Bowl and took Sam Darnold there. So I think that.
Yeah, but I don't know how many former Super Bowl winning coordinators who went to teams who stunk. It's probably a pretty good amount.
I get it, but I mean, defensively, they added 4 free agents who are projected to start for them. They drafted Jamal McCoy, who could end up being as good as Montour Delane is if he's fully healthy and the knee is good. They might have got the steal of the draft if that works out.
But they're not going to know for a year if he can even play.
Correct. But I mean, if he's able to play and he goes out and he's a stud, then all of a sudden, I think you have to take them a lot more seriously. And then if they get Jeremiah Smith or Cam Coleman, with Brock Bowers, and it feels like
I just think their quarterback's still limiting them, man. Like,
yeah, but Sam Darnold was limited. They just won the Super Bowl.
Sam Darnold was an MVP candidate. That's not being limited. You know what I mean?
I fully understand that, but I think that we can agree though that Sam Darnold is not.
He's no
in
longer
the same conversation.
We have to stop talking about Sam Darnold though, like he was the guy that got drafted for the Jets. He's better than that now.
Sure, is Sam Darnold a top 10 quarterback?
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I don't. I can be proven wrong, obviously, as time goes on. I don't think Sam Darnold last year played like 10th best quarterback in football. Absolutely,
he's even better the year before.
I understand he wasn't wasn't asked to do as much because they ran the football a ton.
Yeah. I will be shocked if Mendoza is ever viewed consistently as a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. I think that's why I'm not fearful. I think he'll be best case. He's the 13th. 15th best quarterback in football. He's an average quarterback that you give a second contract
won
to.
MVP too, so
that's 1 year. That's why I said
say the Raiders. If Fernando Mendoza's Derek Carr, they would take that in a heartbeat.
They would, but I would also as a Chiefs fan because that's not you're not going to be fearful of that for a decade. Yeah, if I was a Raiders fan, sign me up as well. I'm telling you though, there's the same thing with Bo Nix, right? Like Bo Nix. Yeah, if I'm a Broncos fan, he got me, he essentially got me to the AFC title game. He got hurt, unfortunately. Defense was a big reason for it. Nobody's fearful of Bo Nix, even if he signs a 5-year extension. Nobody's fearful if all of a sudden Mendoza turns out to be a nice franchise quarterback and he signs an extension. You know who you're fearful of? Having Mahomes, having Burrow, Lamar, Josh Allen, those guys in your division. I'd be worried if the Raiders drafted the next one of those guys. I feel pretty confident saying Mendoza has no chance to be any of those 4 names I mentioned.
I think he could be Brock Purdy or Sam Darnold, which they've been very, very good.
Okay, but again, that's good for the Raiders, but not fearful.
Surround them with good pieces, they can win the Super Bowl because we've seen it with Sam Darnold. We've seen him get there multiple times with Brock Purdy. I mean,
it's funny how now everybody uses, not just you, like, oh, he could be Sam Darnold. Just 2 years ago, we all thought the dude sucked.
That would be
now
a
he's good.
Thing to say to
so saying he could be Sam Darnold in what way? Like that it's going to take him a while. That now. Like, we're using Sam Darnold.
What we saw from Sam Darnold the last 2 seasons, where if you pair him up with a good coach...
So he's just a 10-year... So he's a top 10 quarterback then?
Yeah.
Why do we keep saying Sam Darnold? Why don't we pick another top 10 quarterback? Why are we using Sam Darnold as the example?
I don't think Sam Darnold's a top 10 quarterback.
I don't know.
Last year he was.
Yeah, I don't disagree with an individual. If you made me rank out quarterbacks, which we do,
he's probably the 12th or 13th.
Yeah,
But that's my point. Is like I'm not worried about that. Like, yes, the Seahawks won the Super Bowl last year. I don't think that the Rams are terrified for the next 8 years that Sam Darnold's in their division, though.
Yeah, versus Burrow or Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes or these guys you like.
Or Matthew Stafford. I'm still worried about that if I'm a team in that division.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going inside of it that changes the numbers, at least for me. On the other end, not just quarterbacks in the division, but running backs for the Chiefs. I was thinking more about how we actually predict the split. Do you have a guess at what you think the Chiefs will do. Everyone keeps talking about, well, Kenneth Walker only got 49% of the offensive snaps last year. And we all think, well, it's got to be more than that in Kansas City. But what I couldn't figure out is, are they going to do, if we think it's a 60-40 split, is it 20% Emmett Johnson, 20% DeMercado? Is it a 60-40 split between Kenneth Walker and DeMercado, and we just don't even see Brashard Smith? Is it more 50-50 and DeMercado and Smith, or Brashard Smith and Emmett Johnson are getting way more of the workload than we imagined? Because I don't see a world, or I don't think there should be a world, in which Kenneth Walker is in at least a 60% share guy, I guess.
Yeah.
In my mind, 65%, in which case I'm not sure there's enough snaps to split between DeMercado and Emmett Johnson. And I'm starting to wonder if it's just Walker and DeMercado, and Emmett Johnson is let's see what he does for us next year. He can return some kicks. We'll occasionally toss him a pass the way they used Brashard Smith last year.
Yeah, I think Kenneth Walker is going to get 65% at least of the snaps this year, maybe more. And then it's going to be DeMercado, whatever that percentage needs to be, and then Emmett Johnson. I think, and you asked about Brashard Smith. I think there's a chance Brashard Smith is not active on game days this year for this team. I think that's a real possibility. So I guess based on my percentages, 65% Kenneth Walker, let's just say, and leave about 20% for DeMercado, and then whatever's left there, 10% or whatever it would be, 15%, I guess, would be Emmett Johnson.
So I think that's about the Brashard Smith plan, and that means Brashard's at 0, which you and I both think his role's kind of been eliminated anyway, so that kind of changed the math a little bit. But, I mean, gosh, that's it? I mean, at that point, then it's like, well, you might be able to keep DeMercado healthy if he's only playing 20%.
I think they like him in pass protection.
My question is, though, if Emmett Johnson's only getting 10% of the snaps, when? What I can't figure out, I think it might actually just be a true 60-40 split between two guys. And then we've overvalued that Emmett Johnson is a part of the Chiefs.
And they shouldn't have taken him in the 4th round.
I think it's a part of their
or wherever they
5th
took
round. I think he is a part of, and this is why I think it's okay, Drew. I think he's a part of their future plan. As in, I think they like Emmett Johnson. I think he could turn into something, but he's not really a big part of their plan this year. And they wanted a safety net in case the oft-injured DeMercado is unavailable. They didn't want to have to just rely on Ken Walker 60%, Brashard Smith 40%. And so I think they got a real plan carved out for DeMercado. So it's 60%, 30%, and then maybe 10 just because stuff happens. Or those are jet sweeps. I genuinely think Emmett Johnson might not get a carry for the first 8 weeks of the season if both guys are healthy. I don't think they have, I don't think he's a big part of the plan early. It's June 5th.
Training camp will, it'll be interesting to watch.
It'll dictate some of that.
It'll dictate his playing time, but also he's going to look good at camp, and, fans are going to be clamoring for him to play a lot more. I think for him, if he can get the protection and the scheme down in that regard, then we can bump up the percentage. I think that is crucial. We've talked about it for years with Andy Reid. Yeah. If they can trust him in that spot, that's how he gets on the field more and then hopefully showcases his ability.
I just wonder, I don't think it's a split right away. I think DeMercado's the clear 2 at the moment today.
I agree with that.
And so, and the Chiefs have been more than willing to let a running back climb up the ranks and jump. Isaiah Pacheco wasn't the starting running back going into his rookie year. By the time we were a game in, he was, and not because of injury. He had just taken the job.
Yeah, and ultimately we're talking about still number 2 running back, right? In the grand scheme of things, the offense is going to be more about what Kenneth Walker does and whether it's DeMercado or Emmett Johnson, right? I mean, they can have a role, but the success of the offense is not going to matter between whether Emmett Johnson or DeMercado get 20% of the snaps or 15% of the snaps.
How many games has DeMercado? Has he ever made it through a season yet?
I don't know, he's been a backup most of his career. He started games because of injuries.
14, 13, and 13 games.
How much he hasn't played? Yeah, he's
been on the field enough. That's more than I thought. I guess I thought he'd miss more time than that. He misses 3-4 games a year, but he doesn't miss 8 to 10 games a year.
I think he's missing games though because he's just not playing. I think he's healthy. He's just not playing because he hasn't been good enough.
He's been a backup. Yeah, he's been a backup for most of his career.
And James Conner's been James Conner's been used a ton probably in Arizona just from a.
And now they got Jeremiah Love out there. James Conner is still on the roster in Arizona, so they're gonna have Love and James Conner. It's kind of interesting.
DeMercado also has averaged a combined 8 yards a carry the last 2 seasons.
Oh, when he runs it, he does well.
Like I told you, he already got the terrible fumble out of the way. I actually feel better about him moving forward. He did it somewhere else already. So.
I also think for what Emmett Johnson does well, it would surprise me if he doesn't get a carry until week 8.
I just don't know.
I'm with you on that. I don't think it'll be that long.
I think that would be not that it'd be a waste of a pick, but to me it feels like what he does really well is something that the Chiefs at times had struggled with in terms of one of the main questions is his short yardage. The dude doesn't go down, and it feels like that's a reliable player to have on the field in those types of situations. Plus, he's able to catch the ball really well.
I know. It's hard until we see him. And fifth-round rookies either don't get on the field at all or end up becoming a regular part. We just don't know. Fifth-round rookie, I mean, sometimes those guys just don't see the field. They're just kick return guys.
For his sake, I hope he can learn the scheme and pass protect. If he can, then I think that gets him on the field a hell of a lot quicker.
This is the difference between, and Drew and I have talked about this. I think he's openly admitted sometimes he falls into this trap. I think people who love college football constantly fall into the trap of they can't understand why they don't work in the NFL. Because if you look at Emmett Johnson's college stats, you're like, how could that not work in the NFL? He had like 2,000 yards and 1 billion touchdowns and ran for 8 yards a carry every time. I'm like, yeah, the competition level at college is different than the NFL. And as good as those guys look against collegiate players sometimes, there is still some reason that every NFL team passed on him 30 times in a row for 5 full rounds before they decided, yeah, okay. Like as good as the stats were, as good as he looked in college, there's got to be some flaw. Either he's too slow. Why? Like in the end, why was Pacheco a 7th-round pick? He's too slow. He's not athletic enough. He doesn't have the vision. Like we know his problems now. There's a reason why he was available when he was available. They got the most out of him, but still, I just don't want to pencil him in yet.
Coming up next, we'll get to what's trending. Also, Bobby Witt Jr., your new MVP favorite in the American League. What does that say about the Royals the rest of the way and for his career? We'll get to that next here on Cody and Gold.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Over at Shawnee Mission Ford, they continue to be on a mission to do more in 2026. And employee pricing is still going on right now over at Shawnee Mission Ford. You're going to pay what they pay. American value for American values. Whether it's on a 2026 Mustang Mach-E like I'm driving right now. I just put up a new video yesterday over on my Instagram and Twitter. Checking out, if you haven't seen the Mach-E, the slick, all blacked out Mach-E. It's one of my favorite vehicles I've driven from them to this point in time. And you can test drive that. You could test drive a Ford F-150. Don't forget, we even have our Cody and Gold garage sale next week, and there's a Shawnee Mission Ford driving experience where you can actually take any vehicle off the lot for 3 days and drive it and have a full experience maybe for a weekend as well. ShawneeMissionFord.com if you want to view their inventory. Of course, you can go in person and on the lot right there, but take advantage of the employee pricing and head to Shawnee Mission Ford.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I was throwing a party for the twins and had custom invites and a banner printed at Staples. And that's when I saw Party City is now at Staples.
Party City? No way!
Yep. So now Staples has all your printing needs and everything you need for a party.
Everything times 2.
Yeah, and now at Staples, save 40% on custom cards, photo gifts, wrapping paper, banners, and more.
Big news! Party City is now at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. In 613, exclusions apply.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens. The world's game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2 up early payout so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Let's say you put your money on Leo Messi in Argentina. They go up too early in the first half. Well, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pre-game straight match result bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you will instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM's same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the world's game. You like Ronaldo in Portugal. You like Harry Kane in England. Whoever it may be, Don't miss your shot at an early win with 2-up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals. Regardless of the final outcome of the match, make it a tournament to remember with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New and existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply. Please gamble responsibly.
Meet Keith. He runs a 30-acre ranch. 8 years ago, his knees started giving out.
Climbing a ladder was almost impossible. If I could get down, I have to have something next to me to get up.
Keith's wife had a knee replacement. The recovery was hard and the results, not great. Keith wanted another way.
I won't go under the knife because I believe the body can do whatever it needs to do to heal itself.
Surgery wasn't the answer. QC Kinetics was. They're regenerative treatments. No surgery, no long recovery.
After the first one, the inflammation dropped 90%. Today, my knees are just amazing. I could not do what I've done if I had not gotten treatments to QC Kinetics. I just pray that my physical model continues to go and help other people.
Maybe that's you. Tired of dealing with the joint pain? Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
This is the story of the one. The one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wendy's new Biggie Deals lets you choose whatever you're in the mood for. It's like a music mixing board of deals, and you're the producer. Go with some chill folk music with a JBC in the $4 Biggie Bite snack. Try the drum and bass of deals with a double stack in the $6 Biggie Bag. Or go full-on sandwich symphony with an $8 Biggie Bundle, the grand finale of snacking. And the best part? They all come with napkins. $4, $6, and $8 Biggie Deals how you want them at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
Hey, it's Rob Brennan. We hope you're enjoying Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's biggest sporting event. It's presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. New episodes released every Wednesday on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Cody and Gold Garage Sale benefiting the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum is on Wednesday, June 10th on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
Number one on What's Trending, the Royals are winners of 3 of their last 4. Tonight, they continue their series against the Minnesota Twins. Michael Wacha gets the nod for the Royals. 7:15 first pitch. Vern's On Deck show is at 6. The Royals are 25-38.
Fun one last night, though. I mean, a guy getting off a plane hitting the
Rojas.
What ended up being the winning hit last night. We can talk about that, Michael Massey. There's a couple of other things going well for the Royals right now. Still plenty going wrong, obviously, but maybe they can keep their winning ways going so we can buy back in. Next up on What's Trending, Hurricanes win in overtime to even up the series 1-1 in the Stanley Cup Finals last night. Some of you in Kansas City didn't get to watch a huge chunk of it because of weather in St. Joseph, Missouri. So that might have caused you a little bit of a problem. On the other hockey end, the Mavericks start the Kelly Cup Finals tonight. So that taking place in Kansas City. Game 1 tonight. in KC.
Yeah, first 2 games are in Kansas City. Drew and I were getting texted by Bink last night.
Oh,
Bink
he didn't text me. Was he hot?
Bink was pissed
not happy.
about the weather coverage because he wanted to watch the hockey game. It wasn't until the third period when they went to the split screen, and then luckily the tornado warning went away by the start of overtime, and so you were able to watch the Hurricanes have the game-winning goal. But Bink was not happy.
I told him
I think
to
I
go
should
to the
just be allowed
ESPN
an
app
opt-out.
because you could have gone to the ESPN app and watched
you
it
go.
fine.
But do I have to have ESPN Plus to do it?
No, you just sign it with your TV provider.
Because like my thing is I just want to opt out. Oh, it's in St. Joe? I don't live in St. Joe. I opt out of this one.
Yeah, so go on the app, log into your YouTube TV or whoever you have, and you're good.
You would have been able to see it at full screen.
Either way, it was a good game, and they evened up the series.
They did. Next on What's Trending, Kansas baseball getting set to host their first ever Super Regional tomorrow against Oklahoma. Remember, it's a best-of-3 series, a trip to the College World Series in Omaha on the line. First game tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Tickets did go on sale today. Whatever was left at 10 a.m., those sold out within like 20 seconds, it looks like. It is going to have a couple new seating sections, as we mentioned, so they'll set a new attendance record. I don't know what the exact bump will be. They had over 4,000 last week.
Might be 4,500.
I don't know if this bumps it to a 5,000 or if it's just an extra 500 or what, but they'll clearly be setting an attendance record this weekend there in Lawrence.
Next up on What's Trending, NBA Finals Game 2 tonight. Spurs versus Knicks. In case you forgot, 2 days ago, the Knicks got Game 1 of that series. So the Spurs will try to even it up tonight. They're currently a 5.5-point favorite to take down Game 2. I think the Spurs probably get Game 2 tonight.
I mean, you would think. You would think. I don't know. I hope we get another strong performance in the end of that game in the fourth quarter and see what happens. All right, elsewhere at What's Trending, some bad news if you just like seeing the Stars play in baseball, even if it might have helped Bobby Wood Jr.'s MVP case. That is that Aaron Judge, diagnosed with a stress fracture of his first rib, out for 4 to 6 weeks. He'll be relegated to rest and limited activity. They'll get a recheck in 4 to 6 weeks, so it could still be longer than 4 to 6 weeks, honestly, well after the All-Star break at this point in time. So the 3-time American League MVP down and out for a bit, and it has led to Bobby Wood Jr. becoming the new MVP favorite. We're going to talk more about that after What's Trending.
Next up on What's Trending, Adam Schefter and others now reporting the Bears Board of Directors voted Thursday to advance stadium development in Hammond, Indiana. They obviously released a statement as a part of their ownership group. This is the first vote any of the Board of Directors done. It's obviously clearing the path for Chicago, the Chicago Bears, to move to Indiana. That would make obviously 2 teams in the state of Indiana. Used to happen in Missouri, right, between Kansas City and St. Louis. Certainly opposite sides of the state, so similar, I guess, in that capacity. But the Bears likely heading to Indiana after a vote to continue to pursue that today.
And lastly, at What's Trending, we continue to tell you about it. We're just a couple days away. Next Wednesday is the Cody and Gold garage sale. All proceeds go to the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. The garage sale is presented by RE/MAX. When trust matters, choose RE/MAX, voted most trusted real estate agents by buyers and sellers. We continue to add new items. You can go to the Fan 965 website. Right there on the front page, you'll see the graphic Cody and Gold garage sale. You click there. It'll link you through to the auction site. You can already preview the items and experiences. We're up to over 120 of them. I think we're going to have maybe 5 to 10 more at least by the time we get to Wednesday morning. The auction starts at 7 a.m. on Wednesday, goes till 7 p.m. We've highlighted a lot of the items and experiences, but you can view them for yourself. Some of those experiences include a private tour for 10 at the museum conducted by Bob Kendrick, which is, I think, maybe the experience that should go for the most amount of money, quite honestly, in the entire garage sale. We've got opportunities to have drinks and lunch with Bink and Dusty. Cody's got an experience at Kelly's. I've got an opportunity at Prairie Band Casino to go up there. You can golf, then we'll hang out in the sports book and bet on some Chiefs games.
Working on a Mac experience to go frothing?
Yes.
Or does he call it disc golf? Does he take it more serious than that?
Disc golf, probably.
I don't want to besmirch the proper name.
We are still working on golf with the producers, where Drew, Mac, Rob, obviously, the producers, will go golf with you at a golf course here locally.
Slight
we are
hiccup.
honestly struggling to find a course at this point in time that's willing to hand over a foursome in exchange for a charity donation. So if you run a golf course or know someone at said course, please hit us up, 913-586-7965 on the J Southland Tow Surface text line. A lot of you have texted us in courses, with all due respect. We know the courses around town. We need somebody that has an in, basically.
Some of those we've tried.
We know the courses that exist. We need somebody that actually works there.
That has an angle.
Yeah.
That can get us in there. I gave out my email earlier, and I only got one email.
Been signed up with spam now.
No one sent me any spam yet. I got one email from a thing that said, "Suck it, jerk." And then that was it. That was the one email.
People were saying they were going to sign you up for some adult websites.
Well,
I don't know why
they
you
haven't
gave
done
out
that
your
yet.
why you gave
It's
out
my
your
Odyssey corporate email.
That's
I can
not
just
good.
unsubscribe if I need
Find
to.
out how good the spam blocking is.
Yeah, we're about to find out. It should be pretty good based on the fact that Odyssey got hacked not that long ago. Well, it was years ago now, I guess. What?
Anyways.
Not my fault. I didn't do anything. I didn't click some
understand.
phishing link.
TMI.
I'm all up to date on my, those phishing emails they make us take or whatever at work. They tried to get me the other day, Gold. It said something like, "You've been nominated to be on the board of finance or something at Odyssey," and I was like, "Well, I know that's not true." Well, obviously I'm an idiot. I understand that. I don't even remember some of these times I say these things.
Set it back on April 21st.
But if I know some of you are started a golf course, you're like, why can't our golf course do it? Good with the boss. Maybe you belong to a
somewhere?
private. Yeah, maybe you belong to a private course, and you feel like maybe you could make that happen. We just want golf with the producers to be a thing. It can be a mutually agreed upon date
In the Kansas City area. Someone did offer up an opportunity in Manhattan. I'm sure it's a great course. That's a little too far out, but I do appreciate that. It's very nice. But it does need to be in the Kansas City area. Let's call it that.
At least close.
Yeah.
We got to make it so these people can do it in a day, and so the producers can all align their schedule. We make it harder if they got to go 2.5 hours to and from.
Oh, less than an hour from now, Fan Club Friday brought to you by Jay Rieger & Co. We have Miss Dugan back for her second visit in studio. Going to be a lot of fun. We'll catch up with her. Of course, she's a teacher here in the Kansas City area, a social media star at this point, I think it's fair to say.
That's probably an
well
accurate
over
description.
500,000 followers on multiple platforms, so over 1 million combined. Now a stand-up comic. We'll find out what she's up to. I think she's in grad school still. She's got a lot going on, so we'll catch
She can
up
do
with
grad
her.
school all summer from the looks of it.
So we'll ask her. She started a new series I think I saw on, or maybe
Is she back
brought
with
back a
Summer
series.
School for Boys?
She is. So we'll get some advice from we'll get some advice from
It's good
her.
for this listener
Yeah, it's
group.
perfect for our audience. Yeah.
It can help any of you single men out there. This is mostly, and I think married men too, maybe in the sense that she's trying to teach you how to interact with women.
Yeah, her video.
And she's a woman, so I would take her advice on it.
Her video this week was how to compliment women, quote unquote, the right way. So
Was there? Do you remember a piece?
I'll let her.
Okay. Yeah, that's.
I'll
a good
let
call.
her explain.
We'll talk to her at 1 o'clock. That's fair.
Yeah, I'll let her explain. All right, let's talk about the Royals. Bobby Wood Jr. is your current MVP favorite. And I know we had Jake Eisenberg on, and he said, hey, look, I've always thought he was the favorite. And I get what Jake is saying. I think we said even 2 years ago, Bobby Wood Jr. should have won MVP. And Bobby Wood Jr. does everything on a baseball field. So, yes, I agree with that. I'm just telling you that from a sportsbook angle now and from the betting public, Bobby Wood Jr. is literally the MVP favorite as we sit here on June the 5th. Yordan Alvarez is right behind him, though, of the Houston Astros, sitting at plus 160. Bobby's 135. Then Ben Rice of the Yankees, their catcher, plus 440. And then Nick Kurtz is 11-1. This is not like it's done deal, Bobby's winning MVP by any means. But he's the favorite. He's in the driver's seat. My only worry still, Cody, is two things. One, the power numbers. Somebody will convince themselves if Yordan Alvarez stays healthy and the powers are. Now, the Astros are not having a good year either. So that's the good news. You're not going to be dealing with Houston versus Kansas City. One team's winning the division. One team stinks. Neither team is playing well. But I do think the Royals getting back to some form of relevance, I guess, let's call it, in the 2026 playoff scenario
passably decent baseball
would help Bobby Wood Jr.'s case.
Yeah, so right now he's depending on the book, he's the favorite, but barely. Like Alvarez has more home runs, more RBI, hits for a higher average. And you're like, those are the numbers. And I'm not saying those are the only numbers that matter in baseball. They aren't. But for people who just pull up a baseball reference page or pay attention to baseball loosely, those might be the only numbers that anyone cares about. And so Bobby, who does lead all of Major League Baseball in WAR by a decent-ish margin, the problem is it's the unseen things. He's great at defense. He's one of the best base stealers. And by the way, his base stealing's been way better this year. He's stolen 21 bases. He's only been caught 3 times. His numbers are way up there, too.
Power numbers are going to hurt him.
But the power numbers, he has to hit more balls over the wall, and the team has to be closer to 500. He can win it. With a sub-500 record, he can win it on a non-playoff team. It's happened, not often. Mike Trout, I think as a text line, Smart Ashley pointed out before.
They did.
On the text line, has done it. We've seen even Shohei Ohtani on not very good Angels teams accomplish it. So it is possible. And because he already has some of the clout, Gold, he's finished 4th in MVP last year, 2nd the year before that. There'll be people who want to vote for him just because. Getting Judge out of the race helps. By a lot. It really does.
Big time. That's why the odds shifted so drastically.
I just don't think he'll win it unless the team's at least decent. At least decent.
They don't have to even be 500 necessarily, but they can't be 13 under 500.
Yeah, they got to be 5 games under 500 or something, and the power numbers need to tick up. He's not the person I would bet on if I was given even odds to do it. If everyone was 1-1 and I had the top 5, I wouldn't probably bet him. Not that I don't think he isn't an MVP caliber player, because that's a different conversation. You and I both know Bobby Wood Jr. is the best player in the
He should already have an MVP.
He is, yes. And what happened there was Aaron Judge hit a lot of homers, and so he didn't get it. Because there is no argument, in my opinion, of who is the best overall player in the American League. It is Bobby Wood Jr.
Right.
He is better than Aaron Judge. He's better than Yordan Alvarez. He's better than all of these players. But people don't value defense and base stealing and 5-tool and all this other stuff. And so he gets dinged for that. Like, I know how good, but I'm just talking about how can he win it? Right. Not does he deserve to win it. Those to me are very different conversations.
Yeah, they're absolutely different. There's a reality of how these awards go. We talk about this in the NFL as well. The awards, it's a huge narrative thing. It's narrative, perception, and there's going to be people, especially on the East Coast, that are going to say, all right, he's the most valuable player for the Royals, but what has that got them? I'm just telling you how people are going to view it. I don't agree with it, but that's how these awards sometimes go. And so this team has to be far more competitive for him to win it. He can be on a team that's under 500 that misses the playoffs and still get the award. I don't think he can be on a team that's 13 games under 500 and win it. And yes, it has happened. There's always outliers. So like we can cite Mike Trout. It is not a 0% chance, but if you want to make it likely, I also just wouldn't bet on him right now only because it's plus 135 or whatever. And you're tying up your money for 5 months and I can find another plus 130 bet to bet. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to, why am I waiting 5 months to cash a plus 130 ticket?
I can just bet the Royals to win tonight, maybe. Or, like it's not quite
tonight,
that much,
but yeah, I get what you're saying. But yeah, it's the issue of the odds. He was 4-1, 5-1, I think. Interesting enough, Aaron Judge fell all the way down to 125-1 because they think he's going to be out for 2 months.
I got to say, though, part of me just thinks throw a 5 spot on it.
If he was only out a month, yes. But if he misses 8 weeks, I don't think he can win it.
Well, and I think what I guess I would point out about Aaron Judge right now is he is having a good year. A year that most players would sign up for immediately. He's not having an Aaron Judge year. His homers are down, his batting average is down, his on-base percentage, slugging, OPS, all of them are down anywhere close to 3 of the last 4 years in which he's either been the MVP frontrunner or winner in multiple years. His numbers are down. He's nowhere close to the numbers he was at previously, and so because of that, people probably just going to be looking for fresh blood. Well, you got to keep up those numbers if you just want to win the MVP every year. So he was the favorite. But I also think that if he had stayed at that level, somebody might have jumped him later in the year anyway.
Alvarez has the second most homers in all of baseball. That's where it's a problem. If he stays healthy and he keeps it up, and he's a DH, so to your point,
zero other value other than hitting.
But if he's got 21, Schwarber's got 23. That's the NL side, so it doesn't matter. But then 21 homers for Alvarez. So if let's say he gets to 50 this year, that's a little problematic for Bobby Wood Jr. from the odds from the MVP perspective. But I'll be honest, not that I'm rooting for injury. Alvarez has to prove he can stay healthy. He has struggled to make it through a full baseball season.
But also just like, I guess some of this is, can we not?
But he's Alvarez hitting 316 with 21 homers.
Can I say, can we not pay attention?
To the
like, can we not use our eyes and just like a player like Bobby Wood Jr. who steals bases and plays defense and has to like do all the work is more important, more valuable.
I don't disagree.
A more valuable player than a guy who DHs.
Yep.
And like I just want to point out, like I don't understand why we can't pay any attention to that. Hell, his bigger competition might be Ben Rice. I don't know, like
catcher for the Yankees.
Yeah, because at least he has to play every day. And the other point about Yordan is, let's not pretend like the Astros are any good. They're 8 games under 500.
They won't have to worry about the team comparison, at least with the Astros.
Yeah.
But Ben Rice, like you said, I mean, he plays catcher. He's got 17 homers, hitting 300, and he's a fresh name as well.
But even Cal Raleigh.
But man, if another Yankees player,
Cal Raleigh had a huge year, and even he couldn't win it.
If another Yankees player wins it before Bobby does in a year when Judge is hurt, that's disgusting.
In fairness, in the last 5 years, when Aaron Judge is on the team, they're like 80 games above 500. They're 9 games below when he doesn't. So, like, I'm just going to point out, turns out, and this might not surprise you, Gold, Aaron Judge is a valuable member to his team. Yeah. And so, like, Ben Rice will be hurt if they're a 500 team when Aaron Judge is gone. Like, if they're just kind of mediocre, Gold, and even if Ben Rice plays well, but they're just kind of mediocre while Aaron Judge is gone, that'll ding him too. So, like, it is an interesting MVP year where he might still get it, which is crazy. He's going to win one eventually. I guess that's what gives me a little bit some peace. I don't think Bobby Witt Jr. is going his entire career without an MVP.
Yeah, but I want him to win a couple while he's in a Royals uniform.
That's fair. That's more than fair.
Right?
Yeah, I guess I'm not going to feel that great if he's an MVP for the New York Yankees or something.
Gross.
Is that the team you'd want him to go to the least?
Yes.
Even more? Yeah.
Yes.
Like, I wouldn't want him to be a Dodger, but Yankee? What about Cardinal?
Well, you're not
I know.
going
I'm
to
just
St.
saying,
Louis.
like,
yes, that would be worse, but you're not going to the Cardinals if he ends up leaving.
That would be sickening. That would hurt my soul.
Don't forget, join 96.5 The Fan on Friday, June 12th. That is a week from today. As C-Dot and Rob are going to broadcast live from the Peanut in the Northland starting at 2 o'clock and be giving away coolers and other prizes for those in attendance. And you can hang out and watch the USA play as they kick off at 8 o'clock. And watch parties this summer presented by Truly, the official seltzer of U.S. Soccer, and by Security Bank of Kansas City. Boldly local since 1933. Drew and I will also be out there, not at 2 o'clock, but we'll be out there for the game at 8 o'clock next Friday. Looking forward to that, man. World Cup starts next week. We have finally made it. Years and years of talking about it, and we have finally made it.
Yeah, I mean, it is crazy how close the fact that it's not even a full week until we get a World Cup match. Like, that's how close these things are. It's kind of crazy that we're, I guess, just barreling around the corner. Just quickly on the Royals, and then I know we're going to talk some more Andy Reid and some other stuff in the show, and then at 1 o'clock, as you pointed out, we'll have Miss Dugan come in for a fan club. Going to drink some...
What's the drink today?
Rieger vodka and Aperol. It is called an Aperol Sunset is the drink. Okay. Honestly, I make them in the summer sometimes with...
No, I know they're very good. Why are you making that today?
Well, I had asked, what kind of cocktail do you want? She said something not with whiskey. I usually ask our guests, do you want seltzers or beer or cocktail or what kind of thing?
Drew said he wants sugar on the rim.
Yeah, well, it's a sugared rim drink.
Absolutely not. Do not, if you can avoid putting... Because it's overrated. It's not good.
Overrated?
Overrated.
Can I put it on half the glass for you so you can make a determination between the two?
Oh, no, and if you put it on half the glass, I'm not going to drink on the side.
With margaritas, I normally say no salt on margaritas.
I will not have
salt on the rim.
If you put salt on the rim, I will not have it. I will wipe. I will take a paper towel.
Not salt.
Even sugar, I will take a paper towel and I will wipe off the sugar.
Okay.
It has grapefruit juice, Rieger vodka. Apple.
I don't need the sugar to give
juice,
me. I just want the drink.
Okay.
Huh.
I told you this. We had straight Svedka in college. I mean, I don't need sugar on the rim to be appeased.
Straight Svedka.
Sometimes when you talk about like how you drink in college, I get a little bit worried about like anybody who's gotten old enough realizes how people talk about when they drink in college. Like after a certain age, nobody's counting drinks anymore. You know. Like, Gold, you've been around an adult here, like, hey, man, this isn't college. I've had 4 beers and 3 shots. Like, I don't care. You're either drunk or you're not, or you're tipsy or you're not. Like, drink counting is for high school and college kids.
I agree.
Once we get to
so I'm just telling you that I don't need sugar to appease to make the drink any better.
That's a good point. I should
hopefully not high school, Cody.
College. I never drank in high school. Not even a sip.
That's right.
And I would
Must
never
be 21
high school
or older.
kids who are listening. Ever.
Drink responsibly. 21 or older.
Yes, please.
That's a good point. That was just me dipping into like regular experience for a minute there.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah.
But in looking at the Royals, I want to do a longer conversation on it next week. I will say part of my concern is I went through very seriously their entire list of minor leaguers and like went through some scouting reports and who do they like and which guys are likely to be big leaguers and which ones are likely to be everyday big leaguers versus just contributing members of an MLB team. Going to be a couple of years, fellas. The Royals minor league system is not equipped to help this Royals team for at least 2 years. At best, maybe 1 or 2 of them could be regular people in a rotation or in a starting lineup in a year and a half. Maybe. Justin Lampkin is genuinely your best chance of thinking of someone who might help you next year, right? I mean, that, like, I'm not kidding. Maybe next year. The text line's really bad.
No, look, I'll let you read the text. But, that's a big issue as we approach the trade deadline and how they are going to handle it, because it is not as if next year in 2027 they've got 1 or 2 position players, let's say, that they can call up and get in the mix. They are a couple years away. Mainly pitching, by the way, is what they have down further. And we've talked about Cheerio and David Shields quite a bit. But that's why if you trade somebody like Walker, Can you get a guy that's in AAA that's ready to be in the big leagues in 2027? Yep. You know, who can bring you back those type of MLB ready or AAA players that are soon to be MLB ready in 2027? Positional players. They don't need to trade pitching for pitching. You know, in terms of trading Walker. You're not trading Walker for another pitcher. You're trading Walker if you trade him for a position player, I would say.
Yeah, but it's like I was even looking at Josh Hammond's having a good year. He's still considered by Baseball America did their midseason rankings. They still have him as a top 100 prospect in all of baseball. But he's an A ball. They're in high A ball, low A ball. They're not close. Like I was going through legitimate, their AAA roster. I'm like, who are the players or AA roster? Who are the players that are getting ready to do there? What do the scouts think of these guys? And for the most part, it's maybe they're contributing members. Other than Lampkin, maybe they are perfectly fine contributing members of a ball club the way that Nick Lofton has become.
Yeah, people bring up Burger. Burger's not a prospect, though, guys. He
was in the bigs last year.
He's also hurt right now, but he's not a prospect. We're talking about prospects in the system, not a guy that's just started the season in the minors because they didn't have room for him. Unfortunately, he's also hurt. I don't know I can't remember he's on. What is it for?
He had surgery. Thoracic outlet, wasn't it? I don't remember if it was that one, but whatever it was, I think
it's definitely a serious injury. I just can't remember what it was.
It's been too long now. And again, somebody might surprise. People didn't expect Vinny Pasquantino was an 11th round pick.
It was Tommy John.
Okay, so Tommy John. People didn't expect Vinny Pasquantino, 11th round pick, to come up and help the club. Whit Merrifield. Some of these guys are surprising guys for ball clubs. They don't anticipate them coming up and being everyday players. Sometimes they sneak through. So I'm not saying that, but it's still a few years away.
All right, up next, let's talk about Andy Reid and the coaching staff. We didn't get to this earlier. We got a little sidetracked. I want to talk about how important this year is for him, for Spags, for Brett Veach. We'll do that, plus the random question of the day right here on Cody and Gold.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
That wreck really took everything off track. Can't work, can't help with the kids. The bills are stacking up.
Then stop waiting. Call the Car Crash Kings, SWL Injury Law. Car crashes, that's what they do.
Yeah?
Yeah, they go to work so you can get your life back and get paid what you're owed.
Don't get pushed around. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, getting older. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more. Getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
The Kansas City Auto Show is back, taking over the Overland Park Convention Center. The latest cars and trucks, exclusive test drives. See the future of driving. Get your tickets now at kcautoshow.com. The Kansas City Auto Show, going on now through Sunday.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens. The world's game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2 up early payout so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Let's say you put your money on Leo Messi in Argentina. They go up too early in the first half. Well, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pre-game straight match result bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you will instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM's same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the world's game. You like Ronaldo in Portugal. You like Harry Kane in England. Whoever it may be, Don't miss your shot at an early win with 2-up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals. Regardless of the final outcome of the match, make it a tournament to remember with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New and existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply. Please gamble responsibly.
Hi, I'm Katie, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. Daydreaming about bringing your engagement ring vision to life? As a jewelry consultant, I'm here to help. Compare ring styles side by side. They're in stock and ready to try on. Then customize it with an engraving or decorative crown. At Shane Company, there are so many ways to create your dream ring at your dream price. Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com because a friend wants you to get exactly what you want. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
This is the story of the one. The one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
I love days like these at the pool, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. I'm ready to make a splash with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza. Skyrizi is a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. At 4 months, most people saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe, and many were even 100% plaque-free. People also saw significant improvement in psoriasis symptoms of pain, redness, itching, and burning.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Now there's nothing on my skin, thanks to Skyrizi, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
This report is brought to you by Rawhide Harley-Davidson.
No payments until winter at Rawhide Harley on any new Harley this week. Annual percentage rates of just 2.99% and no payments until winter on any new Harley. Man, that's a long time at Rawhide Harley now through Sunday.
No payments for 7 months with approved credit.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC-Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road.
Don't forget, Cody Gold Garage Sale just 5 days away. Do you think we can get a Miss Dugan experience? Probably too much to ask on that one. At least she's coming in 30 minutes.
Putting her on the spot, I would say.
I do that sometimes on this show.
What would that even be?
I don't know.
That for
Honestly,
for her own sake, I don't know if that's a good idea.
We could just say, what would that look like? Not,
Yeah.
please offer that up in our garage sale. We have a lot of great experiences up on the site already, with more to come. So keep an eye out as we continue to add items and experiences up until next Wednesday. 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. is when you can bid. You could start looking at the items right now at 965thefan.com. And as a reminder, 100% of the proceeds go to the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. They're working on building an awesome new facility. They need more room, more space. Kansas City icon. So we love being able to support the museum. If you get a chance, take a look at those things and figure out the things you want to bid on. Items across all budgets. There are things, you can get a Slugger cardboard cutout, the old Club 610 neon light, maybe my childhood mailbox, I guess, if I put it up.
Autographed baseballs, some really cool experiences, chance to have lunch or drinks with Bink and Dusty. We've gone over a couple of the other opportunities as well. You can go right to the station website and see the 124 auction items that are up already. Bidding starts Wednesday at 7 a.m. We'll get to the random question of the day here in about 8 minutes or so. But I think we've all acknowledged after a 6-win football season for the Chiefs that this year, for this coaching staff and for this front office, is a massive season. I don't think it has to be Super Bowl or bust, okay? I understand you want to maximize every year with Mahomes, but I'm talking about the fan base's view of Veach and Andy and Spags, and for that matter, Eric Bieniemy, and therefore job security as well, and pressure that might be there. What has to happen? Like, fans, if they miss the playoffs, there will be a high percentage of fans that will say, all right, it is time for you to hang it up. If they make the playoffs and they're done early, I don't expect that to be the public sentiment.
So I guess here's the part that I think it would be fair to say. If they miss the playoffs, do I think that the reignition of this is unacceptable will come back into play? Yes. Because I went through the greats. Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. I can find a missed playoff for Peyton Manning. 6-10 when he was 25 years old. Not after that. Tom Brady. Can't find any. When you have a quarterback of this quality, it does not matter the team around you. You have to at least be a playoff team. You don't have to win the whole damn thing, but you have to be a playoff team. Missing the playoffs 2 years in a row with Patrick Mahomes as your starting quarterback is a failure, a massive one, and one that deserves people showing up with a pitchfork saying, we sure that this is not a problem? And I don't think that that's unfair, putting too much pressure on Andy Reid. I will be asking the question, has the game passed him by if he can't get Patrick Mahomes to a playoff? And what I would say is a weaker AFC than even the other side of the conference. The AFC is not some loaded bully, right? I mean, even the teams like Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson, those teams have missed the playoffs recently.
And like always, you have to know like what happened in season, right? Like, is it as simple as just missing the playoffs, or did Mahomes get hurt again? Was the offense great, but the defense ended up being way worse than we thought it was going to be because somebody else got hurt? Like, there's certainly caveats to it, but I guarantee you on this show, we will be having conversations, and the text line will be filled with people saying it's time to switch up things if, in fact, they miss the postseason. That'll absolutely be a real thing. We got some of those, not a ton, but some of those after this past year. And that, to me, would have been crazy. 1 year after going to 3 straight Super Bowls, that's insane. But you missed the playoffs twice, and if the offense is a big part of that, then, yeah, there's a real conversation that will be had. I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't either.
I think this team is going to be a fringe playoff team. You know, I don't consider them the upper echelon of the AFC. I don't. But I do think they are absolutely pushing for a playoff spot and will ultimately get one.
I mean, and I guess that's... I'm not going to be calling for Andy if they lose in the divisional round for the first time. Because that's the other part. Like, I don't want to just ignore the fact that for 7 straight years they went to the AFC title game at the Super Bowl. That's nuts. That deserves recognition, deserves a lot of latitude. And last year's team would have missed the postseason gold, but I think they would have missed the postseason with like 9 wins. Had Patrick Mahomes started the rest of the way. They wouldn't have missed it the way they missed it, right? They would have been a 6-win team with no chance. You know, like, it wouldn't have been like that. But that's also just a thing. You got to find a way to get to 10 or 11 wins with Patrick Mahomes every single year. I'm looking at you go back through, and again, I'm only comparing him to the greats because there's no other point to. But if you look at Aaron Rodgers, if you even look at, you go down to like Aaron Rodgers stuff, his teams don't miss the playoffs when he was in the middle of his prime, right? They won 11, 10, 14, 11, 14, 12, 10, 10, you know, like whatever. Like, even if the roster is not right or some part of the team is broken or they have fundamental problems, which the Chiefs very well might end up having, they still go to the postseason. You don't have to be a flawless or perfect team, but there is absolutely zero excuse. I don't care how bad your defense plays. I don't care what injury you suffer, just as long as it's not the quarterback. There is no excuse out of missing the playoffs with Mahomes other than Mahomes is unavailable. And because they've already gotten the grace year, which was last year, a year in which I think they were going to miss it, I don't think it'd be unfair for people to question Andy Reid at that point. It also just doesn't help. You know this works. With age, how many coaches have been that good at a certain age? You know? It's just not that many. But then they're either retired or think like Pete Carroll, where they just, like, he can chew that gum as much as he wants. The game went past him. He can look as young as he wants. He can jog,
Yeah, Pete Carroll
run
is
around.
absolutely high energy, all that. Yeah.
But the game moved past him mentally or just style, or you are used to the things that have worked. And he's been one of the best adjusters in NFL history, Andy. So, like, I don't fear that that's maybe what a part of it is.
That's all he's done throughout his career is adjust. But this is the next big test. And they're saying the right things, right? They're saying all the right things, and their actions in terms of the coaching staff, they brought in a new wide receiver coach. They brought in a new running back coach. They brought in a new offense coordinator, even if it's still someone connected very much to the organization's history, and Eric Bieniemy. So their actions have definitely shown that they acknowledge they have to adjust. They went out and invested for the first time in years in a legitimate running back, big-time money. That's all a good sign, I think, in terms of acknowledging it was so bad last year that you almost have to pivot and look internal and say, hey, what are we doing wrong? Now, there's going to be some things that are just never going to change, right?
And he's not going to say it was bad luck, you know?
And there was some of that. There was some of that. I mean, after all the one-score games that they won, it went in the complete opposite direction. Yeah. Something's got to balance out this year, and that's why they're probably more likely to be in that 10-11 win range than 6 wins that they had a year ago. And I understand Mahomes got hurt, but even with Mahomes, we've talked about it, I still think they only would have got 8 or 9 wins. So it was just a disastrous 2026 campaign. But the pressure is no doubt on, yes, Mahomes to prove people wrong, but we're talking coaching right now. Andy Reid, and therefore the entire staff, and Brett Veach as well. We all said it was the most important offseason for Brett Veach. Well, that means there's a ton of pressure heading into 2026.
The crazy thing, too, is that if it goes off if they go off of last year, 10-7 misses the playoffs. They go 10-7 and miss.
It does. But I would say that's an uncommon year, right? That's not a, and you know what, genuinely, Drew, and I'm not even, this is going to sound arrogant as hell. We're in Kansas City, so it's fine. You know why all the records were hyperinflated last year? Because the Chiefs were bad. The only reason why there were
because one team was bad, everybody else was really good.
Because there were 2 14-win teams, 2 12-win teams, a 13-win team. Is because the Chiefs lost to all of them.
Because one team was bad, though?
No, because the Chiefs lost to all of them. They lost to Denver. They lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's fine.
They
Denver
lost
would have
to
been
Buffalo.
13-4 instead.
No,
that doesn't change anything.
They lost to the Chargers. I'm just saying, like, in a season in which they normally knock some of the, not everybody's, but a couple of those win totals down to 10, they couldn't help this year. I do think that they had an impact on why it was inflated at the top, because the Chiefs weren't as relevant. There were more wins to be had in the AFC. I don't think it was
which I think makes you question this season, though, because it's not like, I mean, they lost to the Chargers game 1 when Patrick Mahomes was healthy. They lost to, they lost some of these games when Patrick Mahomes was fully healthy. So I don't think you can just say it's off of one team. The Bengals also handed teams 11 wins because the defense was so bad.
Yeah.
You can say the same thing for the Bengals.
Sure.
But the Bengals don't always. I don't. Lamar Jackson was gone for certain games. Like, you could say the Ravens handed other teams in this. They handed the Steelers the division. Like, I don't.
I would say the difference is the Chiefs have typically been one of these teams that takes a lot of wins from other teams, though, versus some of the other teams you're talking about aren't always in the mix. So, like, I get your point, and it's not unfair. It's not something I can prove or you can prove, and so
yeah, for sure,
that adds a challenge to it. There's no doubt, but it is just like, I don't know. The AFC had an interesting year because while everyone had a very similar record and very similar point differential and very similar conference record, we weren't big believers that anybody was dominant. We didn't love any of those teams. We didn't even like the Bills team was down. Like, it wasn't the kind of year where, like, wow, look at this world-beating group of...
Josh Allen also didn't play as well.
No, he didn't.
At all.
Like, and even the Patriots were like, is that going to hold up? They've had the softest schedule in maybe NFL history, and no one was like a huge believer in the Jack. It wasn't a year in which...
Their second year and say, well, the conference sucks, and we keep saying just because the Chiefs are not part of it, right? Like, there's a little,
I don't get to play this out for 10 years.
There's a little bit of that, like, just because the Chiefs are not one of the teams with 13 or 14 wins does not mean the AFC sucks. No, that's good. The Chiefs are just not part of it.
It's just hard because, like, if the Chiefs win 11 or 12 games and then everyone's down to 12, 10, 9, I got a point. I got a point that they were helping drive the thing down.
Well, I don't think we're getting 2 AFC teams with 14 wins this year, though.
No.
The Broncos and Patriots had 14. That is,
and that was schedule
shocked
and
if that happened again.
Yeah, somewhat luck dependent. Based on like FPI, the strength of schedule metric ESPN uses, no team in the NFL has a tougher 4-game stretch than the Broncos. The one where they have to face the Chiefs and the Seahawks, and it's like they got to run a 4 games that is harder than anybody else's in the NFL this year. And it's early in the schedule. So, like, they're going to run into it. I was just looking at how much harder is the Patriots schedule this year. All right. In the first 4 games, they have 3 road games: at Seattle, at Jacksonville, at Buffalo. Whoa.
They could start out 0-3.
Their home game is against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
They could start out 0-4.
And then they get the Raiders and Jets at home, so they're probably okay there. At Chicago, at Miami, Green Bay, Detroit. Like, Patriots are winning 10 games this year. They were ahead of schedule, and now the schedule's going to get them, you know?
I mean, after the first 2 weeks of the season, you look at the Chargers schedule: at Bills, at Seahawks, home against the Broncos.
I've made the point of the Chargers
at the
schedule.
Chiefs, at the Rams, then the Texans, then the Ravens.
Like, I just think some people are going to get a little bit of a wake-up call this year. That they were the benefit of a slightly, especially the back, and maybe I was being too hard on the top end of the AFC, saying that they weren't as good as the records indicate. Maybe that's just because the bottom half of the AFC wasn't as good. Because there were a lot of just not good teams or seriously flawed teams in the AFC last year. So maybe you just get the benefit of booing off of, the crap teams, the middle to bottom part of the AFC instead.
Random question.
For you, Gold. For you, Drew, over in the text line, 913-586-7965. And, of course, over on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook, we live stream the show every single day. Fan Club Friday coming up in 15 minutes. We'll have our return guest, Miss Dugan, back in. Summer, by the way, had to book out for summer, so she's actually done teaching, at least for the interim. So if you want to catch us over on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, or Facebook, we'll be over on there as well. The question I have for you today, I had a different one planned, but I'll do that one next week, because you had said something, Golden, and it made me wonder what percentage would do this. Earlier, Drew, Alex was a little tired. He's like yawning. It seems like he was like, I think earlier before the show, he's like a little more tired than I feel like I should be. He made a joke that maybe it's because he wasn't on steroids. But he had pointed out the fact that his sleep app had said that he slept pretty good. And so the question I have for you today is, how many of these, is everybody using these fitness healthing tracker sleep apps? Or is it just me who uses literally none of them? Not so much as a step counter on my phone. I don't do a sleep tracking app. And of course, I don't want to know. I feel like the results would just be like, yeah, Cody, you never sleep, and it's horrifying for you. And I don't feel like I actually want that information. Did you start doing it when you started going to the gym?
This is all new.
Who's using the health tracking apps, I guess?
Yeah, so, in January, I started focusing more in on going to the gym and tracking, meals and calories and all that kind of stuff, and trying to get healthier and get in better shape and all that. And I have the sleep score thing, and it gives you a score based on your duration of sleep, bedtime, what time you went to bed, interruptions if you woke up, and it's actually kind of cool. It's actually kind of cool.
How does it know if you woke up?
You wear the watch, and I don't know, so it has a chart. Orange means you woke up.
Okay.
The dark blue is deep sleep. Regular blue, light blue is core sleep, and then REM sleep is the light, the turquoise.
Okay.
And so that's how it works. Anyway, so I think it's interesting. And it's all part of this general fitness thing that I'm doing. But you were asking other people do. I think a lot of people do the sleep tracking stuff. Mine, I don't even I don't do the app, pay for the separate app. It's just all linked through the health
From the
thing on
816,
Apple.
someone said, nah, that stuff ain't real. I don't know that. I don't know how good of a job it does tracking it. I'm assuming it's real.
It is real.
How accurate it is, I don't know. It's probably at least medium level accurate.
Yeah.
I imagine there's some flaws in it like anything else.
I'm mainly doing it for trend, right? I'm mainly doing it for trends. So whether you think the number's a little off, either way, it still tells you a trend, right? The same thing with a scale, right? That tracks. Maybe you think your weight is a little off, but either way, it's still a trend, right? Even if it's slightly inaccurate on the scales now that have your body fat percentage, even if you think that the scale is being too generous to you on your fat percentage or your water or whatever all this stuff is. Either way, it's still showing you a trend over the last month or 2 months or whatever.
Legend says my CPAP takes care of my sleep tracking instead. Somebody said that's how they found out they had sleep apnea.
There you go.
Was how often they were waking up. They also asking, do you charge your watch? When do you charge your watch?
So I've had to change it up because I thought the same thing. So what I
can't sleep with a watch on. It drives me crazy.
It took me a little while to get used to it because I thought that'd be a problem. But now I don't sleep on my stomach anymore, so now it's not as uncomfortable. When I slept on my stomach, the watch being on my wrist was a problem. Anyway, so when do I charge the watch? I charge it when I know I'm an hour within going to bed, right? So I've already been out and about, but when I get home, I'll put on the charger. It doesn't take that long to charge. And then when I wake up in the morning and I go to shower, I put it back on the charger. So at that point in time, I get it back up to 85, 90%.
Which seemingly is good enough. Drew, do you use any of those apps? I don't use any of them for anything.
No.
I don't track my water. I don't track anything. I guess live life.
I mean, I don't track. I've got like a fitness plan essentially, but I don't track my calories. I just, I'm not that serious about the tracking the calories thing. I know what I should eat, what I shouldn't eat, how much of it I probably should be eating. I don't get down to the calorie though.
Do you count like how many steps you've taken?
No.
You guys big on like closing the rings or whatever?
I mean, the watch tracks it for me. So yeah, we got some work to do still.
I mean, I'm not.
Well,
looking
we sit
at,
on our ass all day. For
I know
the
that's
show.
the problem. Like after the show,
We don't have a job where you move.
I've been like, whether it's going to the gym or I'll go to the park and I'll walk around the park or whatever and stuff So I've become a little obsessed with the stuff in the last 6 months.
Yeah,
but
you seem real
good.
locked in.
Yeah.
I don't
Scoob
get
over on
the closing of the ring thing, if you will. No, I don't.
Scoob over in the Twitch says, no, if my pee is yellow, I need more water. If my stomach rumbles, I'm hungry.
Hey,
whatever
works for people. You'd be surprised that you think you're okay with your eating, and then all of a sudden you start tracking. You're like, wow, I didn't realize how. And so now, I'm just way more cognizant. I'm not on a diet, but I'm just cognizant of where I'm at.
Yeah, you keep an eye out on what it is you are consuming. I also think that like that one's probably more common depending on the stage somebody is in, if they're but like versus tracking my sleep or like I don't I automatically click for no app to track me ever if I can. I'm a person who went into
What is
Google
somebody going to
like,
do with my sleep data?
What
the hell are they going to do with knowing, we know you go to bed on average at this time and you sleep for this long.
Honestly,
Go ahead.
There probably is some true crime Netflix talk about she knew when he slept based on his app data and then murdered him when he's in REM sleep.
Goodness.
They just waited for the chance. They knew he'd be sleeping his deepest at 1 a.m. and he'd never see it coming.
Yeah.
Drew, there's some Netflix true crime doc that says that, right? That's how the person tried to, and then they busted him because they were like, why was that person constantly tracking their, but I don't even some of the kids in my kids' dance studio all have Life 360 on each other and just knowing where they are all the time.
Well, that's different. That's a whole different conversation.
But I don't have any of the tracking stuff, I think, at any particular stage. I guess at some point maybe I'm just supposed to low jack my kid, or are we just cool not doing that? I think kids are just better behaved than when we were kids. I don't think they get in as much trouble. I don't think kids drink as much underage or smoke it. I think kids
definitely don't drink as much.
I think that
studies on that.
But also, it's harder to it's harder not to get caught now. I would argue with anything like that, right? There's because of said technology too. Whether you have them quote unquote tracked or not.
You think it's harder to get away with it?
Yeah, it's just whether social media. It's very hard to get away with anything like that.
I imagine though, if you're a kid, they're they can track you in life. That somebody's created an app that has a VPN that can tell your parents that you're at whatever place you want it to tell them.
Maybe so.
I could be wrong.
I don't know.
I imagine it's just like anything else. It might be harder to do, or you got to be more tech savvy than when we were kids. But I imagine there's still if there's a will, there's a way.
I think everybody having a camera in their pocket with their phone and social media has taken a lot of that out of the picture.
Yeah. Someone says social media ruined it all, boys. Change the map.
Ruined a lot of
Now,
things.
I will say that. Hey, if you are doing things you shouldn't be doing, maybe don't post that on the internet.
That too.
That would just seem
somebody
like
else though might be posting is what I'm saying.
I know.
Somebody
you
else.
Can't trust a group of 20 people.
Yeah.
I would say it would be difficult to have a house party of 20 people and not have some idiot take a picture.
Someone tried to. Cody says he doesn't want anybody tracking his apps, but he gives out his email address and he does other things on the show. That's good. That's true.
Yeah. Have access to my diplomas.
Yeah.
You know what? It's the physical copy. Somehow it feels different. Also, I gave him my email address so we could try to get golfing with the producers, which sadly feels like it's probably not going to happen.
We
didn't
need
have the golf course
somebody
that we thought we
that
had.
works at a golf course in the Kansas City area or knows and has an in to text in, please, to try to help us set up.
Today
try to set up golf with the producers. We've done it for a couple years. The course we've used in the past is under renovation. They're unavailable. We need to force them. You'll get some love on the website and on the air as well. Mutually agreeable dates so that a listener can golf with our producers for our Cody Gold garage sale. The proceeds benefit the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. That's it. It's that simple. That's it.
So please help us out.
Someone says they have a detailed medical history of both of us. Well, we do share our personal life. Yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
We do.
Somebody
share,
has a signed autograph.
We do share a lot
X-ray.
about our personal lives on the show, health and otherwise.
Maybe we'll do more of that during Fan Club.
All right, up next, it is a Fan Club Friday brought to you by Jay Rieger & Co. We've got Molly Dugan, Miss Dugan, joining us in studio next.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Have you been diagnosed with head or neck cancer? At Kansas City Proton Institute, we're delivering the future of cancer care with state-of-the-art proton therapy right here in KC. Proton therapy means increased precision, reducing side effects like dry mouth, difficulty swallowing, and the loss of taste as compared to conventional radiation. If you've been diagnosed, don't wait. Get your second opinion today and see KC's largest, most experienced proton therapy team. Visit kcpi.com. Kansas City Proton Institute, where you see the best in KC.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey guys, this is Rob Brennan from The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, and we're excited to announce the launch of Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series documenting the run-up to the upcoming World Cup with our friends over at 98.1 KMBZ.
And I'm Scott Parks from Dana and Parks on KMBZ. Beyond the Pitch KC features the biggest names who helped make the World Cup in Kansas City possible. And there was a lot of work, plus the major storylines heading into this summer's tournament.
This is so much more. This isn't just a podcast about soccer.
No, you're right, Rob. It's a podcast about Kansas City, for Kansas City, telling the story of how our town is hosting the world's biggest sporting event.
New episodes drop every Wednesday starting on March 4th, along with video clips that can be seen on 96.5 The Fan and KMBZ social channels.
So make sure you subscribe. Download Beyond the Pitch KC with Rob Brennan and myself, Scott Parks, on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter.
As a fitness coach, my active psoriatic arthritis can slow me down. With Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, I'm treating my skin and joint symptoms so I can keep moving. Skyrizi, a prescription-only injection for adults, helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And for those who have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible. With Skyrizi, there's no daily dosing. It's just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
Hey guys, it's Rob Brennan from The Drive on 96.5 The Fan. We're excited to launch Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series documenting the run-up to the World Cup with our friends at 98.1 KMBZ.
And I'm Scott Parks from Dana and Parks. This is about Kansas City, not about soccer. Telling the story of how our town ended up hosting the world's biggest sporting event.
New episodes drop every Wednesday starting on March 4th, plus video clips on 96.5 The Fan and KMBZ social channels.
Subscribe to Beyond the Pitch KC on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
I don't know if it feels like this to everyone else, but it feels like there's been more severe weather, at least more things interrupted by severe weather this year. That could have been causing damage to your roof. Find out by contacting Century Roofing. They can do an estimate and give you an idea of if it's repairs that you need or a full roof replacement. They've done over 30,000 roofs in the metro area. Been in business for over 35 years. Best roofing company in Kansas City. Last year, thanks to readers over the Kansas City Star. They're the kind of company who's going to stand behind their warranty. I don't think you want to underestimate that when it comes to working with roofing companies because, like even our boss was complaining. He's still getting calls from random companies like, oh, we'll take care of it. Oh, we'll do it. And the person who did that for my friend's roof a few years ago, you didn't see him anymore. They had a problem that they needed fixed, and you can't get a hold of them. You want a roofing company who's locally owned and operated, continues to work in the Kansas City area, that you can trust to do the work right the first time, but if you have questions, are available to answer them, to stand behind their warranty. That's what Century Roofing can do for you. And they're honest. I thought I might need a full roof replacement the last time. They said, no, just some repairs and you're good to go. We'll take care of those. I thought, maybe I got enough hail to justify an insurance claim. And we walked through it a little bit and they're like, I don't think you need it just yet. Let's wait for the right opportunity and for the time in which the roof actually shows the damage. So it's a company that you can trust to handle things the right way, whether it's repair or roof replacement. Century Roofing KC will take care of those needs for you. So trust the pillars of strength. Go to female-owned and locally owned Century Roofing at centuryroofingkc.com. The Cody Gold Garage Sale is back for its 5th year on Wednesday, June 10th, with 100% of the money raised going to the Negro League Baseball Museum.
Last time out, we raised over $15,000 to benefit the NLBM, and this year, we're looking to set a new garage sale record.
Auction items will be available on 965thefan.com, but only live one day, Wednesday, June 10th, with items starting at $9.65.
And I'm thinking, you know what? Your missing glasses will make the auction list. Join us for the 5th annual Cody and Gold Garage Sale, benefiting the Negro League's Baseball Museum, Wednesday, June 10th, right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Rob Brennan. We hope you're enjoying Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's biggest sporting event. It's presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. New episodes released every Wednesday on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The 5th annual Cody and Gold Garage Sale is back Wednesday, June 10th, with all auction items benefiting the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station. Welcome into the Fan Club.
Step 1, we buy into this club. Step 2, we roll over to the club, either in your Mercedes-Benz or my pre-owned Acura Legend.
It's not as much as a club as it is a couple middle-aged dudes in sweatshirts talking about sports.
Bounce, 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 bounce. Now all the ladies saying bounce, 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 bounce.
But you get the gist. Here's Cody Tapp and Alex Gold.
It is a Fan Club Friday, brought to you by Jay Rieger & Co. Again, set for the weekend. We've told you throughout the show today, we're excited to have a return visitor to the Fan. We'll find out what we're drinking today in just a second as well. But we have got a teacher, a social media star, social media influencer, now apparently a stand-up comedian as well. Over 1 million combined followers across social media. Also known as Molly Dugan. I guess
it's a little weird for us to call you Miss Dugan.
Yeah, but Miss Dugan is the social media profile. Welcome back. We were talking before we got on the air. I think December maybe was the last time you were in studio.
Something around there. It was like 6 months ago.
Yeah,
we were in like the throes of football season. So
that's true.
We've seen all the seasons together, guys.
It feels hard to book you in October because I feel like our hours don't align with teaching
there's no
hours.
Way. I'm like, what do I Fridays? Not at school? I don't know what that means. I think summers are time together.
Yeah.
I think it's an annual thing now.
This is our regular moment. It's that or I got to bank on in-service or whatever.
Right.
Professional development day or whatever it is that you guys have.
I think it was the one Friday in the fall that I got off and I was like, sure, let's do it.
Yeah, we had a great time. We got a ton of feedback on it. You were a very popular guest for Fan Club Friday, so I'm sure people are going to be excited to have you back. Real quick, what are we drinking today? You were talking about this earlier. Drew made sure that you didn't put any sugar on the rim of the drink. So.
I actually did put sugar on the rim of his drink.
Drew.
And I made an extra
on
one
yours.
in case
he's not happy.
In case he'll be fine. It's a part of the drink. You should at least consume it partially the way
Why
that it is.
Why are we anti-sugar?
He doesn't want sugar on the rim of his drink.
I guess he was just complaining
about.
Is
that for the ladies?
I don't know.
Why?
I hope it's not that. That would be disappointing.
Exactly.
It's an Aperol Sunset. So I used Rieger vodka, Aperol, lemon juice, simple syrup, grapefruit juice. I think it's the combination of things.
It does taste good. Refreshing. Yeah. Sweet. Very sweet. Yep.
It became a popular, like, we are by the pool family or on vacation, like in the middle of summer drink. Because you just make it by like the pitcher full.
Yeah.
So essentially you just keep like drinking it again. So went with that today instead of, any of the other choices.
What have you been up to? There's a lot. We got a lot of stuff to get to because I mentioned stand-up comedy and but like there's a thing you did. So I guess we can start wherever you want, but other than teaching, I'm sure you're probably glad to be on summer break now, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
And you don't have to do summer school?
No. Do I have to? No, it's always a choice, and the answer is always no.
Okay.
Except I do actually, well, it depends on who you ask. We're not doing summer school for the kids, but on my accounts, I don't know if you've seen it, we have summer school for boys.
I know it's
we
back.
did.
So there is a sense of summer school.
We teased it a little bit, and I told Cody there was a video this week, and he was asking me about it. I'm like, no, we'll wait till Miss Dugan's in studio. We'll ask her. We can get to your summer series in a second. The thing that I really do want to ask you about, though, so you did stand-up comedy. Have you ever done that before?
No, actually. And you asked like what I've been up to. And I'm like, I don't even know what I've been up to because people ask me a lot like, well, what do you think you're going to do with all of this? Like, do you think now that, I think I talked to you guys last time about how I kind of got onto socials. It was like kind of by accident. And people ask me all the time like, oh, well, what do you think you want to do with it? Do you want to get into this? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I kind of am just taking the opportunities as they come because I don't know what I never thought I'd be in entertainment in any capacity. So the stand-up happened kind of by accident as well. I made a lot of internet friends, which sounds the way that it sounds.
What your parents taught you not to do for a number of years?
It sounds very much like,
don't meet the random people on the internet?
Friends in person too. But what happens when you like gain a social media presence is you start connecting with other people that have social media presence, especially teachers, and a lot of them do stand-up. So I got involved with Andrea Forcum. She's a teacher. She's super funny. Well, now she's a college professor. She doesn't teach K-12 anymore, but I went to her show when she was here and we connected. And then she came back with some other people and their show was called The Teacher's Lounge. And I reached out and was just like, oh my God, I'm going to be at your show. Because I've DM'd with them before. And they were like, well, why don't you try opening for us? And I was like, no. Like I said, no. I was like, no. I always said, like, I think I'm fine with TikToks. I'm fine with this. But the thought of doing stand-up makes me want to, like, throw up all over. Because it's one thing to stand in front of my students and try to be funny and not get laughs. Because you're like, you can, in your brain, be like, you're like, I don't need to care about the opinion of children, right? Like, I'm a secure adult. But the thought of standing up in a room full of adults that you're supposed to make laugh and not getting laughs, that I don't know that I could recover. So I was like, no. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, okay, grow up, try something new. And I did it. And it went pretty well.
How long of a set did you have to do?
Well, okay, I can't shut the heck up. And
you went along.
I was supposed to do literally 5 minutes. I did 12 minutes.
Wow.
But that's impressive. Yeah, that's impressive. So we were the reason why this is funny and the reason why I asked how long the set was, 2 weeks ago, so Memorial Day weekend, whatever that was, we were talking about, there was a bar in town that randomly had like an open mic night.
Was it Maze?
It was not. It was not. Okay. It was a bar called The Kingdom.
Okay.
And they normally don't have open mic night, but it's normally at a different bar in town. Anyway, It's not open mic to the point where like you could have walked in and signed up. I know that's weird. They had clearly already had prearranged like 15 people. So anyway,
that makes sense.
And I was telling Cody, and I love stand-up comedy, big fan of it. A ton of props to people that do it because it's very difficult. But I got confidence that I could do it only because that's how bad the 20 people were. It was seriously, it was awful.
Were you like pity laughing?
No, we.
It was, or was it
silent?
It
was so bad. It was uncomfortable.
You're like,
They had 5 minutes. That's why I asked how long they had 5 minutes, and none of them could even do like 60 seconds. That was funny. And I'm not like the person that's like, oh, you're just not laughing. You should be laughing. No, it was awful. It was terrible. You would have, you would have crushed it. Was it
like they AI jokes and it was?
They had some of them had a sheet of paper in front of them. Still, and it just wasn't funny. A lot of it was like just like the low-hanging fruit stuff, like that everybody wants to try to make a joke about.
They're trying to make dark humor funny.
It wasn't funny at all. So props to you. Went 12 minutes. That sounds like it went well.
That's a long set.
Yeah, I wasn't mad about it. And what's funny is I kind of got up there, and unfortunately, I am a glutton for attention. Like I'm self-aware, so I was up there and I was getting some laughs. I was like, all right, let's try some more. It was great, and it ended up being great. And I wouldn't mind like trying it again, but again, I don't think I'm gonna like seek out a show. If I got invited, great. Like if the Teacher's Lounge comes by, I mean, they are the best group of people. I'd love to do stuff with them. But it's like, I don't know. I have too many other things going on.
I think underappreciated is self-realism, even if it's negative, in the sense that people are like, oh, you just like attention. I do.
I do.
I was like one of 7 kids. I clearly got into radio because I was like, not enough of you are listening to me talk. I'd like more of you to be forced to listen to me.
There's a reason I don't have stage fright. And I know it sounds so horrible, but it's just the truth. I just I don't have stage fright. Maybe a little, but
can you give us a taste of? Can you give us one of the jokes?
Or what was the theme?
Do you remember?
Guys,
was it about teaching?
Oh,
teaching,
yeah.
dating,
No,
whatever.
Fully teaching.
Okay.
And it was mostly about God. What did I even say? Well, since I was opening as well, it was kind of trying to amp them up a little bit.
Okay,
so
sure.
Some of them were kind of cliche. And here's the beauty of being a teacher. Okay, word salad. Let's try that again. The best part about being a teacher comedian is that teachers will laugh at anything teacher-based. Anything. You say any cliche word and they're dying because they just want to feel seen and heard. So if you're our trauma bonding, you make jokes out of that, they're all for it. So unfortunately, I would be terrified to do a non-teacher show. Just regular comedy. I that's where I think I would be I'm not sure about
I guess it's
this.
also a group that everyone interacted with, though, right? You were on one side or the other of it at some stage in your life.
Right. That's fair. Okay, that's fair. Because there were people there that weren't teachers. People will bring their spouses and things like that. Yeah. But, maybe I'll try. And I think still, I would start out with some comedy-based stuff. Really what I joked about was... did I just say comedy based at a comedy show? That was a very stupid phrase. Guys, word salad up here. I really talked about just the difference of teaching elementary, middle, and high school and how kids, you go into different states of psychosis at each grade level.
Did you do elementary school? I know you did middle and high school.
No.
Okay.
No, I just...
Couldn't do it?
Can you imagine? This is actually literally what I said in the show. Put yourself in these shoes. Can you imagine teaching human beings that have existed for 5 years? You're teaching them a whole language.
It's crazy.
And you're teaching them to not poop their pants.
It just makes, I know.
That is actual rocket science. People are like, oh, these cute little elementary teachers. You are teaching a human brain how to form sentences. That is that is not cutesy. That is intense. That kid, if they don't learn to read at that age, is going to struggle the rest of their life. That's insane. High school, it's you kind of come to me as you are, and I do what I can. Elementary is formative years. No, they should actually make $1 million. They should make more than me.
We were, not kidding. 2 days ago, we were talking about both my kids are in elementary school, and one of them they're talking about skipping a grade, and we're like, we'll just ask because you said I'm not a real teacher because I only teach 2 classes at college.
I did say that.
Thank you for saying that. That's been a drop that's lived on the show for months.
Honestly, I probably needed the humbling anyway.
Listen, you're a teacher. You just can't relate to the same trauma.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't have the real.
No.
All I deal with are the kids at the end of the semester trying to figure out how they can get from
grade.
F to A. By some miracle
meet half of
standard.
the stuff that we complain about. I will let you complain about those things, but you don't get the other lore of K-12 education.
That's fair.
And that's
more
fair,
than fair.
Yeah. But I appreciate your service.
Would you let a kid skip, or they just got to go through
skip
school?
A grade?
Yeah.
Oh, that is a way bigger conversation than you would think. A kid that skips a grade, I think, is really rare because, first of all, this is in the education system, they have programs in place for gifted students.
Yeah.
And so I think to go beyond gifted and then skip a grade is got to be a very exceptional case that I'm probably not qualified to make. At that point, you have school psychs involved, you have special ed teachers involved, you have so many people involved to make sure that that's the right choice for the kid that would not be my call.
Oh, wow. So you're just saying it's not an easy decision at all.
I would be one voice in that decision of a lot of people deciding if that kid should skip a grade.
Yeah, because I was telling Cody, I think socially would be my biggest hesitation. What happens socially down the road is that they're a year younger than everybody. I think that could be problematic.
I don't even know if I've taught a kid that skipped a grade.
Well, what I couldn't get past was the mental part. You taught middle school. So the way his current trajectory would be, you don't have to skip, but they just keep jumping you multiple grade levels for the things that you're ahead in. So when he was in 4th grade, he would just go to middle school for math. And I'm like,
yes, yeah.
That feels did you have a kid who's just that feels like a weird position to put a kid in. You're just randomly being bussed off?
That
to
is
the
interesting.
Middle school?
But high school's weird because I have kids that just graduated this year with their associate's degree. You can jump up and take what you need to and take the credits. Now, middle school is different because they only have the classes that they have. But once you get to high school, kids can kind of tailor their education. Like,
do whatever they want.
They can do the thing. So, like, I don't know. I just can't relate because I was not the kid that was considered for that.
This wasn't you weren't in the gifted program?
Hell no.
Yeah, absolutely not for
I'm
me
a
either.
middle child.
That's
no.
What's that mean about education?
Like
I'm a middle child technically, but there's
like
too many.
type B, I'm there for the vibes. I'm getting A's and B's just to not get in trouble at home. Like my friends, like classic like ADHD. The only reason I got good grades is because I like would totally zone out and I'd look at my friend and be like, what'd she just say? And my friend would relay it to me. Like that's literally the only reason I did good in school.
Is it easier to teach that type student or the type A student? The one that has like their whole world mapped out?
Oh, well, type A because you don't have to repeat yourself, but I understand the type B kid, the ADHD kid so much more. Like my kids will be like, you said that already, quit repeating yourself. I'm like, no, it's because I know that half of you zoned out and you didn't hear it. And I'm just gonna have to tell each of you individually. So I understand them more.
We've got Miss Dugan hanging out with us here on a Fan Club Friday brought to you by Jay Rieger & Co. You mentioned students maybe already getting their associates before they leave high school and everything. You're still doing grad school? You were doing that last time we had you in studio. So is this the last summer of that or what? Where are we at?
No.
It never ends.
It never ends. No, I was working on homework before I got here. I'm in a really long program. It's a 3-year program.
Okay.
Well, for a master's degree, it's in school counseling. So, no, after this summer, I'll be halfway through.
All right.
So we're getting there, guys.
Do you only do it in summer or do you do it while you're teaching?
No, full-time student.
Year-round for 3 years?
Full-time student, full-time teacher. It's a lot.
Yeah, it sounds
but
like
we're a lot of tears, but we're surviving.
I don't like the coping mechanisms that we do when we're all just busy. Because I like you're busy enough that like this is really bad, but like I am guilty sometimes of being like I've been so busy. Are you? Not you.
No, literally.
But like
yeah,
like other people like, what do you mean? Do you even know what busy is? Do you have I think the way you're describing your schedule, you probably judge people based off of that.
No, because then like I look at my friends that are parents and I'm like, oh no, I don't even know busy compared to you. Like I think we all just fill our time. I think we're all busy in different fonts, because why do we, as a society, you have free time, you fill it. You're like, how can I make myself more miserable? When I'm not miserable, I'm anxious. So let's just do that.
So is miserable better than anxious?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think we know. And so I just think that you just make a joke about it at stand up and you make an Aperol spritz and you just stay busy.
I don't think, Alex, are you the person I'm not good at sitting still. So like I always have to have like something like
I want to go out and do stuff. Yeah.
I overfill my schedule at times thinking I can accomplish more than I can accomplish. It sounds like all of us are in that boat.
No, I literally don't know if I've met a person that doesn't say that. Like have you?
What's wrong with
Have
us?
you ever met someone when you say, "What have you been up to?" and they don't say, "Just busy." I mean, we all say that.
Yeah. No, it is.
Some people are better about sitting around than others.
Okay.
Some, not many. Maybe they're in the minority, but I can't relate to that.
I can't relate.
Are you the World Cup, of course, a huge deal coming to Kansas City. Next week we get the first match, I guess not in KC right away. We get Argentina, Algeria, we got all this fan fest stuff. Is that something that, did you get a sense anybody, even when you were teaching your students were talking about? Are you excited for this? Are you trying to go to a match? What do you make of the World Cup being here?
Okay, I think it's super cool. First of all, like I just think what a cool time to be living in Kansas City. Like from I moved here in 2019 and that's when we won that first like Super Bowl in the stretch of Super Bowls. And so I'm like, first of all, I think it's me. All the things have happened literally since I moved here. So I don't know.
New airport, Super Bowls.
I know. Like, come on.
You missed the Royals World Series, but that's not bad. It's pretty close.
Okay, that is true. Dang. Okay, so debunk
pretty
me.
close.
Debunk me on live radio. Dang it. Okay.
It's only the one.
So true.
Streetcar, you get all those.
Yeah, streetcar. I'm super stoked about the World Cup. I'll be honest. I'm not a big crowd girly.
Okay.
The older I get, the less I like a crowd. And I just like don't need to be in the crowd. But I like all the activity going on and the excitement of it. I just don't think I'll be like downtown at P&L watching the match. I'll be like at a bar near my place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'll let the visitors enjoy that. And I'll be You know what I mean?
You want to be just outside viewing it from afar, not in the thick of it.
Exactly.
It just like sometimes I can do the large crowds, other times not. And it depends on largely like what he's saying. Like sometimes I do still have like a little bit of the FOMO of like, well, I want to see it once. But then I get down there sometimes I'm like,
and maybe that'll be what happens because I'm
There's
going
a
to
lot of people.
I'm going to Fan Fest next Thursday, which is at the Liberty Memorial, and just to see what it's about. It might just be so crowded. I'm like, oh, I don't need to go back to this. And it's also going to be 105-degree heat index or whatever it is next Thursday. So maybe that's what's going to happen.
I also say that, and I do get a lot of FOMO. Like the last few like parades that we did, I'd be like, no, I'm not going to that. Like I went to it once, and then I'd be like, no, I really want to be there, and I'd book it down there. And so I think it's like worth checking out. And I'm sure, honestly, knowing me, I'm gonna end up going.
It's the only time we're gonna ever have it in our life. I feel like you gotta go. I feel like maybe you don't go to a match, but I feel like you got to go to the Fan Fest part once.
Yeah. Here's what I'll say. If one of my friends says, "Hey, we're going down to this," you know I'll be there.
There's concerts as well.
If no one says it, you won't catch me there. Someone's got to start. Someone's got to start the momentum, and then I'll tag along.
Yeah,
I love to tag
hey,
along.
We're all going. Just come on.
Yeah,
we got it. Not a week ahead.
I'm not the
Day
planner.
of.
Yes, it's got to be like perfect scenario. But either way, I'm super stoked, and again, I'm sure that I'll find my way down there. So
yeah, I mean, at this point, it's like I know that I'm going to go to some of it. It's just a matter of how much, and then I got to be gone the first full week and a half, 2 weeks of it anyway. So
Cody's
I'm
leaving the
catching
city.
all
He
on
didn't
the
want.
back end.
He didn't want anything to do with the World Cup. He's leaving the
going to a
state
different World Cup city.
altogether.
Wait, what are you doing?
I
What
gotta
are
go
you
to.
doing?
I have to go to Dallas for my daughter's dance competition.
Oh my god!
So-
A different competition.
So I have to go, do Dance Dad stuff for like 2 straight weeks. It's like a week and a half or whatever. But then we
a long
drive back and
time.
forth. Well, those national ones, they do them like it's like 5 or 6 days or whatever of actual competition. Plus, you have to get there and be
I
back.
have no dance culture. I only know dance
it's-
moms.
I will say it's intense based on the way I can do it. And we're at a relatively low pressure studio.
Don't they literally practice like every night?
This is I think that this is a general complaint that you can probably relate to because you teach high school kids. We have taken high school anything, sports or activities, way too far. Like my daughter, who is 9, dances 4 nights a week. She'll dance Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then they'll have her Saturday. I'm like, this is crazy. And so high school sports are like that too. They're out there 5 nights a week. They're not making the Royals just because they play baseball 5 times this week.
No.
We can all just rein it in a little.
I've thought about this a lot. Like someday, if my kids want to play, I'm like, okay, if I'm self-aware that they're fine, they're okay. How do I tell them we're not committing to all of that?
We're not doing club basketball. You can't dribble.
Yes, because it's just it is absolutely insane. And then from a teacher perspective, you're just okay, it's just as a society, you're who started, did the chicken come before the egg, and how do we rein it in? You know what I mean?
I don't know. Some of it's just
I guess if they love it though, right? Are you doing it?
Yeah, I know.
Is it the parent that's pushing it, or does the kid actually love doing it? Right?
And part of it isn't either. It's just if you're going to be on the team, this is what it is now. There's no team that isn't doing it like
practices.
this.
That's fair.
Some of it is a closed loop. You can't when my daughter's playing soccer, she was doing soccer she wasn't any good, but she liked it because of the social part. But she was picking daisies. But she played and she was on a really good team, and one of the kid was essentially just Messi of their league and would score 70,000 goals.
Messi of the rec league.
How old were they?
They were 7, 6, and they had to they had to let this girl. They had to tell the girl hey, you can only pass for a while. Don't shoot any more shots. You've made 14 goals. It's cool.
The kids are here to
we got to let these other kids
their
actually
participation
try.
trophy. Yeah.
So they'd have to rein her in because otherwise she would just drop 70 goals on 7-year-olds. And so when they did it, they were 7, and then they were hey, this is the last year, and then it's tryouts for company. I'm it's 7? They can't get out of the 2nd grade before we're auditioning to be on the team. And then my kid was definitely going to get kicked off of that team. The second that they started doing that, it's oh no, that's no.
Well, that
good.
one kid sounds like she needs to be playing up a couple levels.
She started playing 2 grades up with the boys and girls and stuff. But at the same time, it was they just try to jump it to hyper competitive 5 days a week.
Where's the in between where it's
I don't
still
know.
competitive? They can still get better, but no, I feel that. That's hard.
I imagine that's a common excuse in high school. They're I got football practice 4 nights this week, Miss Dugan. I can't do it.
You just don't understand the teenage life. You give us so much homework. I'm
the
I
teenage
can't
life.
do an hour and a half in class to do it. What? They literally, and I get it. It's a lot, but don't you dare come to me and say I didn't give you time to do your homework. I always give you time.
It's just whether you use the time.
Whether they use, but then, Mike is crazy, guys. I'm sorry, I'm getting so heated already. It's summer, so I can get mad.
Yeah.
They will literally I'll have them write a journal entry where it's like they feel like they can get their emotions out, and I love. And sometimes it is like they're trying to communicate something to me of like, I just wish our teachers knew like all the pressures of like all these things. I'm like, I get it. A lot of them are in sports, working a part-time job. They have a lot of homework, all these things, and I'm like, so then they'll be in my class, and they're like, you gave us so much homework. And then I'm like, okay, why aren't you working on it right now? And they go, well, I just work better at home. Oh my God. And you feel like your brain's going to blow up. You're like, this is not.
So I didn't really give you homework. You just chose to work at home.
Exactly. Yeah. It's tough. It's a tough scene, but their brains need to be right because they're teenagers, so.
It's hard because like teenagers, they're like, this is the love of my life. And they did break my heart. And you're like, yeah, but
also you'll be okay.
Eventually you realize that's not what happened.
Yes. And you just have to remember, like, that is their reality.
Oh, in that moment it is.
But you're like, you are genuinely making a dumb choice right now and blaming me. Like, no.
Now's your chance to call out the high school boy who was mean to you. Molly. Who was the kid that you wish? Did he live in the city? I guess you did only move here in 2019. Where are you originally from?
Wichita. Wait, I don't remember. Did I say something?
No, I just thought that this is a good opportunity.
Cody just randomly threw this on you.
Who's the person who treated you poorly in high school, who deserves to be ridiculed?
I thought you were talking about one of my students. I was like, did I make a joke on a video? I was like,
what
are
your own
you talking
personal
about?
high school experience.
Guys, I didn't have a boyfriend in high school. No one hurt me in high school.
Oh wow.
No, I was a loser a little bit. Like I was just kind of I was a late bloomer. That's what I would say. I was a late bloomer.
Yeah, that's a much nicer way of saying it.
And I boys had cooties far too late for me, and I just was very awkward. And then I went to college, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, we're fine now. But no, I didn't get my heart broken. I was too busy consoling my friends that were watching. Like in middle school, I was that girl. My friend was like the popular, like super cool, like confident in herself from a young age. And we'd sit at her computer, and on like MySpace, she'd be like messaging the boys or whatever, like Facebook, that were like flirting with her. And I'd be like sitting next to her being like, wow, that's a really good response. Yeah, that's really good.
Not actually sending any of your
And I
messages.
wasn't even offended. I loved to watch it. And finally I caught up to everyone.
We've got Miss Dugan hanging out with us for a fan club Friday. Is it just Miss Dugan on Instagram and TikTok? People are asking how they can find you.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it is Miss Dugan. Sometimes I forget people are like listening right now. It is Miss Dugan.
Hopefully a lot of people, hopefully.
Ideally.
MISS and then Dugan, DUGAN. But my handle is Miss Dugan 1.
Okay.
If they're looking for me.
There's imposters out there, is what you were telling me?
There's imposters out there. Someone took Miss Dugan when I made my account, just plain.
That's lame.
I know.
That screwed up
And then the aggregate accounts who just reshare your content.
There's so many fake accounts out there, which whatever, like I'm not going to be able to stop that. You wouldn't believe the DMs I get being like, is this really you? Like if you're messaging a different account asking if another account's me.
So you already know the answer.
Like what? Use your context clues, guys.
Up next, you started a new video series, or at least maybe it's back, a video series this week. I think it's fitting for our audience as well. You're going to teach us a few things. We'll do that next here on Cody and Gold.
You're listening to Cody and Gold.
We're going to try to tickle your tonsils.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
High energy bills? Can't get cool enough? Your HVAC system could be the reason. Save up to $2,000 on a new HVAC system with Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. Smart homeowners know an old air conditioner can cost you more every month. Don't let it drain your wallet. Upgrade to efficient, reliable comfort with payment options that fit your budget. Put your trust in over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
The Kansas City Auto Show is back, taking over the Overland Park Convention Center with more brands, more test drives, free parking, and all new family-friendly features. Get your tickets now at kcautoshow.com. The Kansas City Auto Show, going on now through Sunday.
I can't raise my arms, I can't climb stairs, and I can't kneel down, which means I can't play with the kids, golf with the guys, or get through a workday without exhausting pain. Hey, it's Bob Fesco, and I'm here to celebrate what you can do. That's exactly what QC Kinetics patients are doing. Not bracing for that next jolt of pain. It's gone. They've moved on, back to living their lives. You've heard me talk about the team at QC Kinetics, and so many of you have already been through their game-changing regenerative treatments, and it's all done right in the office. No missing work. No surgery, no long recovery. The inflammation calms down and the pain backs off. So go find out what you can do. It's a good life out there, folks. Go live it to the fullest. Let's get rid of that pain starting right now. The consultation is totally free. 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone. 816-412-6299.
Now at Lowe's, faster quotes start at the Lowe's Pro Desk. Got a material list handwritten on a sticky note or saved as a photo? Perfect. Bring it to us and get a quote in minutes. And if you don't see what you need on the shelf, we'll help you get it. You can access thousands of products beyond what's available in-store or on Lowe's.com, right from the Lowe's Pro Desk. Build quotes faster and source the materials you need to keep your jobs moving. Just like that, at Lowe's.
While the world watches the stars at the FIFA World Cup this summer, Hyundai has its eyes on the next generation of talent. The future stars who are already turning heads at age 14. Because next doesn't wait for an invitation. And neither do we. Hyundai has always moved the future within reach. We did it when we made advanced safety standard on every vehicle and engineered EVs with ultra-fast charging capability. Because the future isn't some far-off concept. It's already here. Next starts now. Hyundai, an official partner of FIFA.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter.
Royals coverage is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City.
Brought to you by Blue KC is the Coaches with Character program. Do you know a rock star high school coach in your district? Nominate them for the Blue KC Coaches with Character program at bluekc.com/nominate coaches with character. Let's make our coaches feel special and make our community a better place to live, work, and play.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road.
All right, we're back here on a Fan Club Friday brought to you by Jay Rieger & Co. We've got Miss Dugan hanging out with us for another half hour or so. You may have seen her on TikTok or Instagram and her videos. How many years now has this been?
2 years.
2 years.
That's crazy growth.
2 years and you have 500,000 followers on Instagram and TikTok. Is that right?
Yeah, TikTok, we'll see if it gets there. It's been pretty paused, but it's close.
All right.
It's close.
We'll round up for the sake of the conversation.
We're going to give you the roundup, I think.
Hopefully we'll get you some more followers today. All right, I teased this before the break because I saw you had a video out earlier this week, and I don't think it's new. You've done this before. You call it Summer School for Boys.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so tell us what that is, and then this week's was about how to compliment women.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Okay, Summer School for Boys started because... listen, I think guys can get a bad rap. You know, people are like always dogging on men, all this stuff. And that's not the point. Like, it's not, it's more like if I were a guy and I didn't have a woman's brain, I can see how I wouldn't understand the little nuances of how you communicate reads wrong to women. And so I'm like, I wish I could just, I had gone on so many dates and I was like, I wish I could just like leave a date and give them little tips. And then this happened. I was like, well, I could give the internet little tips. Like,
it's
why
tough
not?
to be the person who just went on that date, but other than that,
everybody else can benefit.
And no, I
All
don't like call. It's more just like in general, like things I hear from my friends, and we're all like, yes, I wish that they just understood that, or like this little thing would make a huge difference. That to guys like, oh, well, that's an easy shift, you know. And same with women. I'm sure guys could do the same thing for us, but it's just giving another perspective. And so, yeah, I riled up the men in my comment section this week.
What are your suggestions for how to compliment?
Okay.
Can you give us I don't have a problem.
Little quick summary.
Okay.
I think a lot of people think that there are, in a patriarchal society, you're already like, oh, Boo. Tune out. She's saying patriarchal.
Now
Get her
I feel
out.
like I'm in
Get her
class.
out. Guys, think about it. Like, there are so many things that I think people think is a compliment, such as like, a woman should want to be naturally beautiful. A woman should want to appear this way, blah, 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 blah. And so, like, I've gotten, for example, one time I got a comment on my video where I was wearing less makeup, and it was like, or I was wearing more makeup, and it said, you look prettier with less makeup. And I made a video clapping back just a little where I was just kind of like, oh, well, let me put on even more makeup. You know what I mean? Like, what? And oh my God, the comment section was like, he was saying you're naturally pretty. Women can't take any compliments. I'm like, well, it wasn't really a compliment. You were telling me your preference of me. If you think I'm naturally beautiful, just tell me that then. Like, there's a difference. And I was like, maybe guys actually think that's a compliment, but to women, we hear,
you're telling me what to do?
You're telling me your preference, and I don't care what your preference is. You know what I mean? So it's like, maybe guys just need to know this. So if you compliment women, avoid comparison, right? And I've had so many guys be like, oh yeah, like, now if a girl asks, I said this as well, if a girl asks your preference, hey, do you think I look better this way or this way? And she gets upset with your answer, that's on her. I truly believe, like, we have a responsibility in it too. But like, what an easy shift to just say, hey, you look great today, rather than you look better today than yesterday. What an easy
that doesn't
shift
seem
to
that
make.
crazy to me, I guess.
Okay, I really didn't think so either. And so a lot of immature men are exposing
I
themselves
saw
in
the
my comment
I
section.
did see some of the comments.
Yeah, it's dark.
We should actually read. We should actually read some of the
internet.
comments.
Yeah,
That'd
I
be
kind of
fun, too.
clapped back a little bit at them. It was fun.
Well, that's the joy of your platform. See, we have a text line, and they think occasionally that just because they can send us stuff that we can't see it and then respond. Yeah. Like, no, I can say
I can't
any of
actually
this
do whatever
back.
I want. Yeah.
Here's a
You
comment.
can't actually stop me from saying anything.
This was one of the comments from somebody randomly on your video talking about compliments. It said, yep, I'll tell you how I prefer to see you. Don't take it as a compliment. Take it as a direction. That was a real comment that somebody
Wait,
said.
did you see my response?
Let's see. You said, that's not.
I said, that's not
Yeah.
something you want to put on the internet, man.
That's not great.
Yeah. There were some crazy ones. Absolutely.
I think you talked about this when you
Someone
came in
says,
December.
take the compliment, be happy. Jeez.
Oh, that's essentially just smile more.
That
Now they're
was
just going
like-
back to like
there
classic
were,
tropes.
like, a
There
lot
was
of
one
those.
comment, you can tell me, you'll remember, there was one comment where somebody responded and you said you chose to be nice and you're like, really digging the mirror selfie or something, which
Okay.
I did laugh and enjoy
And
that
that
one.
like, I felt bad because like, anyone can take a mirror selfie and be confident. Like, I don't want to yuck your yum. But like, you're gonna come at me. I'm gonna find a way to come at you. And what did he say? Oh my God, I'm gonna find it because I think I
was
screenshotted.
scrolling. I was scrolling through it, but
Oh, it was Ted. He said, for some reason, this woman thinks she knows everything about everything. You don't. You teach high school. Stick to that. And I said, love your mirror selfie, Ted.
I guess what part of it is that a huge chunk of the internet pretends like they can just not choose a particular site. He can just block you or never follow you or
Right.
consume zero of your content. Ted is not obligated to watch anything you produce.
It's more just like disheartening.
Like
And a lot of
Ted.
times they'll have like their wife in their profile picture. And I'm like, okay, Queen, like what, teach him better. Like, let's go, dude. Like, come on. So it's just, and I get so many DMs from guys being like, whoa, I didn't realize men really can't understand that this is a basic concept of just understanding someone else's experience. And I'm like, okay, wait, there are good eggs out there. We're okay, guys. But a lot of them like to get in the comment section and just.
I think they think it's a nameless. In some ways, it is nameless and faceless. In some
Yeah,
capacities.
and I think so too. So
We did have to ask you a baking question.
Yeah.
Because it came up on the show 2 days ago.
Okay.
Because I had said I would try something and they said they wouldn't.
Yeah.
So I know you make sourdough.
Yes.
And so in making bread, there was a mummy discovered.
have you seen this story?
Okay, so there's a mummy. It's
here.
5,100 years old. They found a yeast strain on the mummy and they're using that to make sourdough. I said, would you try it? They both said no. I said, why not? I'll try the 51-year-old mummy yeast.
No, 5,300-year-old.
5,300-year-old.
wait, if someone
It's
tried it before you? Or
Yeah,
what if you're the first?
If I gotta be the first, I'll give it a shot.
It's
I mean, it's just still
the
baking
yeast was in the
bread.
stomach of a mummy. They iced
I have
this
no-
mummy since 1991, and now they've extracted the yeast and they're making sourdough bread out of it.
You would be the first
Sure.
of all humans to try it.
In fairness, despite the fact I have kids and a wife I love, I don't care enough for my own personal safety. And if they were like,
Interesting.
"Hey, we're we're going to do a TV program and you're going to be the first person to try this extinct mummy bread. I'd be like, you know what? Yeah.
I think
like
I could
unique
compartmentalize it in my brain.
I like unique experiences. For the same reason I was late for the show once being on a blimp. I like the chance to do stupid things.
What? Fair enough. That's actually really valid. I think I would try it too. I just don't think I could be the first.
You got to make
second,
sure it's
third,
not
how far down the list do you need to be?
I need like a couple weeks to pass.
Okay. Make sure that my stomach
Make sure the person's not dead.
Did you go into like sepsis? Like,
you want like the 12th or 13th loaf.
Yeah, but then like I'll try it to say that I tried this like ancient bread, of course. So I don't know. That's what I think is cool about sourdough is like people pass it on for like hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that's almost the cool part about it. Now the fact that it was on a dead body, gross, but there's good bacteria that can come from that. So
is it more likely for you?
Maybe it's a 10-year bread.
Is it more likely for you guys to try the sourdough or the yeast from the sourdough from a 5,300-year-old mummy, or like someone that was the same thing but only like 20 years old, like died 20 years ago?
Oh no, 5,300.
Okay.
I need to be
5,300.
I don't want them to have been alive when I'm alive.
And also, not only that,
too
but it's like the bacteria
close.
feels like it's been like that's been dead so long. Surely it's just like a rock,
Yeah.
like turning back
It's not
into
actually
like
a
the
person.
natural. Yeah, but like 20 years ago, it was like, man, you got like bugs on you. Like there's like something like I'm imagining.
Yeah.
Would you try it?
No, I already said
You
no.
said
Oh no. Okay.
Flat out no.
He was an instant no.
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah, I'm good.
Are you always making bread for other people or just you?
Oh, other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how often you make it, but
I feel like it's the best, like, housewarming gift and like just like something to give. In fact, Michael, because I barely make it during the school year, because it's hard. Do you make sourdough?
Mm-hmm.
You got to be around for certain parts of it.
It's multiple. You got to have like a whole day to be like somewhat near the bread.
Right.
A whole day.
You
Just
don't have to,
because-
it's not active, but it's like I need to do something with the bread 2 hours from now and 2 hours after that and 2 hours after
So you
that.
can
So I
do
got to be
stuff in
like in and
between.
around the bread.
Or
you know?
also like if
What
I
are you guys doing to the? That you have to. What do you have to
A
be
lot of
around
times-
for 2
A
hours? What
lot
are you
of times
actually
just
doing?
like knocking the air out of it and just letting it rise.
over it.
Yeah.
Just,
Do you name
in
your
our
sourdough?
potions.
Do you have names?
Do you have stickers and
No.
bags like Taylor Swift?
I actually don't. I don't name my sourdough and I don't name my plants. I don't know why. People are like, "What do you?" But I'm just like, man, I don't know. Because what if I kill it? Like, you know what I mean? But I
Have you killed sourdough, the yeast or the sourdough before?
no, actually, and that's
Okay.
surprising because I'm usually the friend that like
How do you kill it?
can't.
No, you don't feed it.
And the bacteria goes
bacteria
bad,
goes
or
bad.
just like
Okay.
something gets off
can
with
get
it.
moldy if
So
you
it's
don't
all
feed it
about-
fast enough.
It's all about it's just like active bacteria. So like anything can go wrong with it, But what you're doing to it is you're just like, okay, it's rising at certain times, and if you let it over rise, it's not going to turn out quite the same. Or if it under rises, it's going to be gummy on the inside. So you just got to kind of time it, or like, you can't let it rise for more than a certain amount of hours, or like it won't be bad, but it's not going to be.
And then
best.
if it's warmer outside, you got to do it faster. If it's colder outside, you got to do it
Yes.
sooner.
This seems like a lot.
It's
For
a
bread.
commitment.
For bread.
Once you get into it, it's more doing it's easy. The timing is just what gets hard.
Well, bread's one of the easiest things to make. It's like 5 ingredients. It's always the same
Yeah.
thing. Just flour and salt, and it's not like there's not.
And I also
water.
don't care if my sourdough's not perfect. Now, one time I did give sourdough to someone. I took it to my aunt and uncle, and I was like so excited. And they cut into it, and like all of my cousins are there, and it was so like
Undercooked.
there were like no bubbles in it. I was like, this thing is heavy. And they were like, it's so good. And they ate it. And then halfway through the weekend, we come home and they're like, oh no, the dog got it. And I'm like, did they give it to the dog?
Wow.
Oh, they didn't
You know
want to
what,
tell
though?
you.
No,
Nice
I
aunt and
love
uncle
them.
protecting you.
I'm so close to them. Like, I love them. But I'm like, I really think the dog just got it. But I'm like, what if it was that bad? And they were like, we'll just pretend like the dog ate it. But that's okay. I'll try again.
The dog ate my homework, but for your bread.
No, literally. I'm like, you know what? Thanks for protecting my
In
peace.
fairness, they still give me a hard time because I made something for the show and accidentally got a piece of a green onion in it once.
Yeah, he made us
It just happens sometimes. You cook a lot of things in a kitchen.
homemade Reese's peanut butter cup, okay, which is amazing. But he made like a gigantic. I mean, I don't know what
It was
he said.
huge.
A gigantic cup
Tasted
of
good,
peanut
which
butter.
you admitted. I just one piece ended up having.
But
a
he
tiny
brought
piece
it.
of
We
green
cut
onion.
into it, and right away I spotted it, and it's a piece of green onion. We called him out on air immediately.
I think I
That
cooked
is-
dinner that night too.
Not a clean kitchen.
Well, when you
know?
said I brought something and then got green onion in it, I was like, what, bread? That sounds kind of fire.
No,
Reese's peanut butter cup. It kind of threw off the
He didn't
taste.
eat it. He
But
just
that's, I
pulled it
think,
out.
I find that better than hair, like
Well,
better than a
yes.
piece of hair or something.
Oh, that would have been it. That would have been.
You're like, you seem like you get icked out easy. I'm getting that vibe from
a
you.
little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
You don't want hair in your. Nobody wants hair in their food, but
Yeah,
also
who's not going to get grossed out by hair on their food?
If you cook at home,
Some people can pull it off and be fine, though. Some people pull it off and they're like, I'm gagging, I can't eat the rest
But
of the day.
if you're cooking by yourself at home, you know that that's
well, if
your
it's
hair.
yours, that's
no, it
different.
is. But also, like, I do get grossed out, like, in the shower, like, getting my own hair out of the shower. I'm like, I, like, close my eyes and do it quick. Like, I think it's gross.
It is gross.
Hair's gross.
If it's a restaurant, though, and there's
That's
hair,
bad.
then
No,
it's
that's a no. That's an immediate
we're out.
setback.
We're out.
You guys want to know what's risky? Being a teacher and kids bringing you their leftover foods class food.
You can't eat that.
You
can't
gotta
eat that.
When?
Oh, you do?
My kid just made bread at her.
You gotta
summer
look.
school.
You gotta look at the kid who was in your group. Are they trustworthy? Do they wash their hands? Probably.
Do you remember how clean they were as a kid?
Because sometimes you're like, hell yeah, like this is good, and sometimes you're like, thank you so much. And people say that that's bad. They're like, you lie to the kid. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm gonna say it and say thanks for thinking of me.
We don't do it way different than this. People like to bring food to people on the radio.
Really?
And
kind of like
we-
firefighters.
And we I don't know, maybe.
Don't they do
Not
that
quite-
for
yeah.
like firefighters?
Maybe we don't get it that often.
The
but
heroes of our society.
Anytime
You guys.
That's right.
anytime we bring up like, oh, I haven't tried that. People brought us ramen, full plates of all kinds of food. It's crazy. And so, but
from a restaurant,
but
homemade.
if it's,
or
but if it's a listener that I've never met before, it's like, I don't know if I can. Even if it came from a restaurant, I'm like, I don't know.
Well, you never know. Like, there's crazy people out
I'm bad
there.
about that. I just get to your point. I get freaked out about that kind of stuff. Like in general, like we have a potluck at the station.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm
oh,
out
see,
on
I could
that.
do a potluck.
Yeah, that's fine.
I just don't. To your point, I don't know who's made it. I don't know if someone's cat was all of a sudden climbing over the dish. I don't know what the heck's going on.
I'm his co-host. We've known each other for a very long time. We did a breakfast thing, and I made from scratch muffins, just like chocolate chip and banana, like very common muffins. And he, standing next to me, grabbed an Otis Spunkmeyer in like
it was
a
pre-wrapped.
plastic
It was
wrap.
good to go.
And I was
Shut up.
It's pre-wrapped. It was good to go.
So am I.
knew there was nothing in it that was
Was
contaminated.
this before or after Green Onion Gate?
After.
Oh my god!
After. What am I supposed to do?
That dramatic.
It was after. I don't trust it anymore.
No,
you know?
you gotta.
They were good muffins.
I bet. See, my brain doesn't work that way. I'm like, frick yeah, muffins.
So right now, if we would have out there had like a plate of like clearly some homemade stuff, you like assuming you were hungry, you would actually be like, sure, I'm all about it.
It depends on what it was.
Muffins.
She's walking into a
Oh heck yeah!
muffins
I would eat a muffin. That's out there.
very safe food.
My brain wouldn't go first to that. Now that we're talking, I might be, and I'm like, my brain's like, oh, I didn't think about those things, guys. I don't think I'm too impulsive to realize the risk first. Like, I would not be good in a survival situation because I don't think of all the possible outcomes first. I just act, and then I'm like, oh shit, I didn't think about that. I'm lucky nothing happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Oh,
we
it's
got
all
a
right.
dump
We have
button.
a button
I
for
love
that.
it. That means you were getting comfortable on the
I'm
radio.
so
That's great.
sorry.
And you're allowed to say some of the cuss words, just not all.
Hey, you're
Okay.
good.
It's all good.
We've all done it. So that's solid.
I'm in timeout.
Now you've officially been coordinated. You know,
Yeah, now you've
coordinated
made it.
into radio.
Now you've made it
It's
to
a
radio.
word you can't say.
I
We've
was
all
working
done
so hard to not say any words, and it just slipped
You're
out.
good.
Do you have a rule for not cussing in your classroom, or do you let it?
Oh, well, I don't
You
let
don't.
it fly.
Yeah, sure.
Heck no. Like, I am able to shut it off in my classroom. Yes, there's a rule. I was not prepared for how much high school kids cuss. Oh my God, they cannot shut it off at all. Like, we had a swear jar last year. It was getting so bad. And they were like, but we're teenagers. I'm like, and I'm an adult. Like, I cuss outside of here and I turn it off when I'm here. You can too. And they're like,
Time and place.
Again, they're like, you just don't understand teenagers. I'm like, oh, you tortured soul. Like, don't cuss in school.
I like they're talking about like you were never a teenager.
As if and also as if I just like think, I don't even know the thing. I'm like, that is a default thing to not cuss in front of your teacher. Like, that's default. You know what I mean?
It's like a grandparent. You just gotta like watch it in front of certain
When
people.
I was in high school, I wouldn't even consider saying a cuss word in front of my teacher. And they will like just drop it while talking to me. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, same with cheating. They'll literally be like pulling their friend's paper and doing it knowing I'm right there. And I'll be like, you can't do that. And they're like, it was just one question. I'm like, that's the default is to not do that. Like, it's so confusing.
I don't know. I think sometimes like earlier I made the mistake of, we were talking about like people who count their drinks. And I said, that's for people in college. And I made the mistake of also saying in high school. And then my brother, who's a teacher, he teaches high school. He said, high school? And Gold's like, you can't say high school. I'm like, yeah, that's probably not true. I probably shouldn't invoke underage drinking on the show.
Yes.
But at the same time, I was like, I also just don't think teenagers do that much. I don't think they get in the same amount of trouble I got into as a teenager. I think they're better overall.
You look
they
very
might cuss
skeptical
more,
about
but I think they're better overall. Do you not think so? You think they're just as bad as we were?
I try
And
to
you're younger
not
than me, but,
know because I am a mandated reporter. So I just would rather not know if they get in trouble. It seems like none of
you
my
have to
business
say something.
outside of the school building.
Smart.
Gotcha.
Seems like it's on their parents, not me. But I hope that they're not getting in trouble.
They don't seem like they're getting in trouble from the sounds of
Well,
it.
they'll be like, oh my, they're like talking about their weekend. And I'm like, I'm a mandated reporter. And they're like, oh yeah. I'm like, yeah.
I have to say something if you know.
Yeah. Watch yourself.
I think they're just warning them. Plus, you probably don't want every detail of their life anyway.
No, I literally don't want to know that. I'm like, there are lines here. We're good.
You just try to stay out of the personal lives, or have you been invoked in to try to help somebody? And should I ask this guy out? Like, I don't want to help you with that.
If a kid comes to you as a trusted adult, of course, it's like, especially, I'm in school to be a school counselor. I want to sit and help them with their problems, their feelings, things like that. But definitely, like, I don't seek out that information. I seek out if a kid is down, needs help. You can say, I'm here to talk if you need to, etc. But like, I find it really weird when adults or teachers are like, so who's dating who? If a kid doesn't want to offer that information up, not that I care to know, but like, it can be insightful of like a kid's been down there going through a breakup.
Sure.
Things like that is helpful to know. But like, I don't need to know that. I think it's weird when adults, like teachers, seek out the drama. Like, I don't need to know, So I don't know. It feels like it's crossing a boundary of friendly and friends. If a kid offers it up, that means they feel safe around you. If you go to it, I think it confuses kids on, are you their friend or not? And you should never be their friend.
So what
That's
do you
weird.
make of Cody? Cody suggests, now he's a professor at UMKC. It's a little bit different. He's dealing with college age
Yeah,
kids.
they're all.
Cody, so when the semester's over, he would get a drink with a student if they
I
wanted
said,
to.
should I offer
And
that?
I said,
Because I
said
had
I wouldn't
professors
do
who
it.
offered that when I was in college. So I went, like, after the semester ended with a couple of different teachers, and just they're like, hey, like the cat, I'll be at this bar. If you want to be near that area, I will. And like, I'd have a professor buy a drink or two over the course of the years. And I said, is that something I should be offering? And they both thought no.
That's tough for me as a high school teacher. Obviously,
that's-
I'm like,
no.
I can't imagine myself doing that. But as a college professor, I think it's totally different. And I've heard so many friends that have ended up, because their professor was like such a big mentor, that's totally normal. And then for years and years, like they've been mentors, they've been friends. It's networking for them at that point,
I also just think I teach
And
two
so I'm
classes,
just
so
like-
retake very much I have.
Well, and they're also like legal adults. So like, I just don't think it's, I don't think it's as weird. Or
See?
Weird.
Now you have a real teacher.
But obviously, like if you're a weirdo, then it's weird.
Well, yeah.
Well, are you a weirdo?
No, but that's
Okay.
my fear, is that I don't want to be viewed as a weirdo. You're trying to draw that line, right? Like I'm also not trying to be your friend at the moment, but I understand like it's a small industry and we're done with this semester. So like, that's why I haven't done it.
I think you should trust yourself to read the room.
Yeah.
Or like maybe it doesn't have to be a drink. Maybe it's just like,
I think it's weirder. Honestly, any place other than that sounds weirder. Like, I'm going to go get some frozen yogurt.
you don't think like a coffee? Like a
Frozen
coffee or breakfast. Like a coffee shop is so normal.
Or can I just bring baked goods in for the final
That's
day of class?
weirder.
Okay. Looking for the line, We don't know where the line is.
Cody's go-to is bringing baked goods to people.
It's a good equalizer.
That's his go-to.
It's a good equalizer. You know that.
It is, and it's actually very, no, I'm sure that they would love that. But I think like, if it's a kid and, you're kind of their mentor, they're like, you want to network with them more, just like connect with them more in that way, like whatever. I don't think it'd be weird if a professor's like, you ever want to grab coffee? Let me know. Let's go get brunch.
I normally do that. I send the
think
email
it's
off
so
or whatever.
normal.
That's fine. I was just
Is
like,
there something wrong with me?
Yeah, we get that stuff a lot.
we got a lot of
yeah.
drops in the show of all the terrible things we've said. So you
That's
don't
the
have to
fun
feel
thing
bad
that we
about
have. anything that's said on the show can be saved forever.
it. And
love that.
played
And
out of context.
Out of context drops are the best. Yeah,
I love that.
So never, ever, ever get caught with your pants down.
Yeah, stuff. We got all
I
kinds
mean,
of
that's
stuff.
true. Summer school for boys.
Yeah.
That's
Right
another,
there. Maybe we could use that.
That's a good lesson to be learned. I guess because how much of the grad school stuff takes up your time versus just now, like no teaching, so you have a little bit more time.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of getting back in the swing of it this week. I've been kind of lazy, but I looked at my semester. It's going to be a lot. So, I mean, because it's, 16-week courses crammed into 8 weeks. So
And is it all just at your own pace?
I
or
mean,
do you have like actual instruction you got to go do?
We have assignments each week, but no, I don't have classes that I like tune into or anything. It's a lot of just reading and writing. But I have 3 classes that I'm taking. So, yeah.
Would you
It's
go
a
back,
lot.
get a master's in communications?
There'd be no point for what we do for a living. Like I understand, like
What if you wanted to
my
teach?
sister's a teacher, so I understand why it's beneficial. And you're also trying to get
Mhm.
into counseling, so it's that, on top of it. But
No, you have to
for
in
us,
teaching.
they don't
for
give you a
us to
choice.
be honestly, for us to be a giant waste of money. Like for you and I, for what we do for a living, there'd be
Not unless I
I'm
wanna
gonna
become a
master. I'm gonna
tenured
get a
professor.
master's in communication,
Or to just say
or
that you have
broadcasting.
it. If I didn't have to have it, like I wouldn't. And not only that, like I want to get into school counseling, but like if I could become a school counselor without needing it, I'm not like someone who's like, I just want all the education. I have no
You
desire.
want a lot of letters behind your name?
I just want to know what I need to know and I want to do the things,